experience life in all possible ways. The good, the bad, the bitter, the sweet, the dark, the light, the summer, and the winter. Experience all dualities. Don't be afraid of experience. Don't be afraid of experience, because the more you experience, the more that you have, the more mature that you become. Here we are. Here we are. The generosity of spirit is infinite. Therefore, nothing is more natural than abundance. What is unnatural is scarcity, lack, and poverty. I know these are loaded words, and all these kinds of beliefs swirl around the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots. Social forces often work against the poor. The key to wealth is being in your dharma, staying on the path that is best for you. Hello. I'm reading Abundance, The Inner Path to Wealth, Deepak Chopra. Yeah. It's interesting, there was actually some controversy regarding Deepak, so I'm not sure where to sit with him, but I really like that first line. I really like the first line of what he's kind of emulating. But the generosity of spirit is infinite. Let's try something here. I think we're immediately going to plunge into some sound journey loops. I'm going to try something kind of experimental here. Can you do the bongo guitar dual playing pi, PLE? If that's what I think I mean, then yes, brother. I'm actually going right into that. Going right into that. Yes, yes. Nice. Immediately already 20 seconds in or 30, 40 seconds in, got our first badge of honor, our badge of timeout for 30 minutes timeout badge. As a Rene says, any true idea belongs equally to everyone capable of grasping it. I love that, man. I love that. I really love that. Name a kind of potato. Phonetics. Whoa. Whoa. A kind of potato. Damn. That's profound, bro. Well, let's go with air-fried golden potatoes. Let's go with shredded air-fried golden potatoes. That's what I've been a fan of lately. Let's try something. Let's try something right now. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. I was doing this the other day actually, day that turned into night. But this is what we're going to be playing with. Let's start simply by creating a backtrack, a foreground that we can kind of expand off of. Whoa. What's happened here? I think I know what happened here. Audio interface was glitching out a little bit. Doing a little stutter. That sounded strong. That sounded strong. That sounded very strong. All right, that's our intro. That's our intro. Oh no. What the heck? What happened there? I think we overlapped. We overlapped something. Damn, that's... Okay. Something. That was the weirdest glitch I've ever seen. All right. So something clipped out, created the most wild glitch I've ever heard. That was bizarre. Well, that was not fun. Yes. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bets. Look like you're from Minnesota. Minnesota. Interesting. That's a... Wow. Nah, I'm definitely not from Minnesota. That's trippy, man. Let's try this again. Okay, so this is how our sound sounds, right? Whoa, something weird. What? Okay. Maybe we have our amp set up. Well, gonna do some... I'm so confused here. Well, one moment here, just gonna do some technical things. Let's just reset our audio setup here. We thought we had this set up, but we were wrong. Yeah, we were wrong. It's part of the fun of producing and looping music. It's audio engineering or troubleshooting. That's the word. That's the word. Wow. Greetings. Rock fan approved. Nice. I'm a fan of rock as well, so this would check out, my dog. This would check out. But we're here to try to experiment with something here. Okay, I think we fixed our sound. We fixed the sound problem we were experiencing here. Back to the usual regular programming. Okay. Failed to open audio interface. Beautiful. Let's do this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What? Huh. What the? That is weird. Maybe it's this chord here. Some beautiful technical difficulties here. Am I Machine Gun Kelly? Nah, bruv. Not even remotely. Machine Gun Kelly seems like a gem, though. Let's be real here. I mean, I don't agree artistically with every decision he makes, but man, dude is talented as fuck. He is a talented human being. That is so weird. What is happening here? I'm assuming it has to do with this chord. This beautiful chord here. Okay. There, we fixed the solution. If for some reason the audio, the guitar rig was just feeding through. Very weird. Very weird. Okay. Anyways, we're creating a loop here. Magic. So this is what our recording begins with. This is what we're beginning with. Master that a little bit. Wow. Something weird. What? Okay, a guitar rig. Let's... Makes zero sense. Huh. Let's just try a separate channel here. I don't know what's going on. Alright, that seemed to work. This had to have worked, right? This is the solution. This is the solution. Yeah. There we go. We took like 5-10 minutes to just figure out this beautiful audio interface glitch here, but that's the beauty of it. If you troubleshoot and don't give up, then you can create super dope music. Anyways, welcome. Shiva's appear hot. Shiva. Interesting. People in some interesting states. Interesting states today. Okay, let's try to weave this together. Interesting. Cool. That's beautiful. That's nice. Is that flute recording sound distorted? It was for a moment. I don't know what exactly. I think for some reason my guitar rig was registering even though I wasn't flipped on. I didn't flip on the actual, I don't know, the actual channel, but for some reason it was just creating interference. I don't know. Yeah. Shiva is an ancient Indian god. Yes. Nice. I mean, thank you, brother, for sure. I'm vaguely familiar with Shiva, very vaguely, but yeah, I think the philosophical dimensions of it it's interesting, it's intriguing, it's very intriguing. And without a shadow of a doubt, I think the Indian culture have a very beautiful perspective on like, almost like ancient dimensions of spirituality, you know, their connection to like ancient meditative culture, something I've truthfully... Like, I more resonate a lot with, like, ancient Japanese and Chinese culture. That's, like, what I've really connected with over the years and found myself very attracted to. But I think, without a shadow of a doubt, Indian culture is just such a rich heritage. It's such a deep culture. Philosophically, too, it's very interesting. I actually, in college, studied a bit of... Yeah, it was, like, Indian philosophy. What was it? I don't remember the exact dimension of it, but it was a very interesting chapter. I remember just going down a deep rabbit hole, kind of just like making the connection between, because as I recall, in the ancient Indian philosophy, their emphasis was to, they defined it as something like, what is it? Authority, and authority being like basically the integrity of the philosopher, the person that is saying a word, and then the word being the philosophical literature itself, you know, holds weight, but it only holds as much weight as the integrity of the actual person. And basically what I'm saying is Indian philosophers and philosophies, often what they would emphasize is, yeah, exploring the nature and the integrity of the person themselves. Not just the words that were spoken, but who was speaking these words. You know, what was the nature of the person and the rich heritage of who these people were, how they were passing on the knowledge. That was what they often would emphasize. And I found that very fascinating. I was like, that is very beautiful, because obviously I think that's a extremely important element. I think most philosophers really desire to honor. You know, it's not just about the words themselves that are interpreted and misinterpreted maybe, but it's about surely understanding how to explore the character of the said philosopher. You know, So when it's passed down through generations, we can understand deeper, not just what the philosophers said, but, or maybe the spiritual philosophical literature, but the nature of the person, the integrity of the person. I don't remember the specifics of this because this was like several years ago, but I remember writing actually a large essay, a paper on that exact thing. I don't know if I did that well. A lot of it was me just riffing, figuring out how to study and write an essay on philosophy, but what a beautiful experience. You learn a lot. You learn a lot. If you ever find yourself in college and you desire to study philosophy, personally, I'm a guy that's been casually exploring philosophy since I was about 15 years old. Like, I've been really into Marcus Aurelius and Alan Watts. And yeah, I found myself when I was like around 19, 20, I took like 3 or 4 years of philosophy, namely a lot of critical thinking classes. Super fun, super dope. I love every critical thinking philosopher or professor that I ever had. I honestly loved and connected with so much for various different reasons. But as for like philosophy professors, if you ever study philosophy, personally, it's the professors themselves and your peers that you get to study and have like philosophical arguments with. That is my favorite part about philosophy class. And then of course you get to go deep in a very like, foundational way. You get to understand a lot of the ancient core philosophers like Descartes, like William James. And I love both of those philosophers very deeply. Like Rene Descartes had an extremely beautiful thesis. Like, if you guys are familiar, you probably are if you're, familiar with this channel. Kathmandu, Brazil. Banzai. 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 Isn't that like a Japanese word for saying like something like celebration or something? And said daughter of Dubai. Interesting. Wow, okay. I'm not sure what you're going on there, Carrot, but thank you for sharing your truth, yes. I mean, the core caveat that I like to really emulate in this channel is I don't desire to dive too deeply into religious ideologies. That is, if, you're trying to almost like really pour your heart out or pour your perspective from like a religious context or literature, I highly desire to stray away from that particular thing. Not because there's anything wrong with that. I don't think it's I don't want to throw salt at anyone that desires to preach their truth, but if it's like a strict religious ideology, I feel there's channels for that. This is not the channel for that. But yeah, with that, Rene Descartes, man, if you guys are ever familiar, I think, therefore I am. That was his core philosophy or his core thesis was, I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am. It's like, apparently how Rene Descartes discovered this was he was a guy that would spend pretty much all day in his bed. And I remember on previous streams I've spoken of this. I have a strong belief that Rene Descartes, or strong feeling that he was likely a lucid dreamer. He was a lucid dreamer, without a shadow of a doubt. Because Rene Descartes would spend most of his time in his bed unpackaging philosophical visions. That's what he did. He devoted most of his life in bed. He had I think he was like, had a servant because it was an ancient time, or he had like a friend who was like, or a person that he hired because he was, I guess, rich or something. I don't know what he was doing, but he basically would have his food delivered to him. He would sit in his bed and philosophize all day long, right? This is what Rene Descartes did. And apparently there was a pivotal moment in Rene's life where he realized that everything he knows, everything that he could believe he knows, should be questioned. It's subject to being false, to being falsified. He realized that everything he knew, everything, and he was spending most of his life philosophizing, trying to understand truth, studying philosophy, studying philosophers, right? And Rene got to this core truth. He was like, wait a second. If even just understanding, of conceptualizing that what if, like he just asked himself, what if everything I think that I know is false? If everything I think I know is false, therefore, now everything that I'm unpackaging and trying to understand now can move myself closer to truth. This was paraphrasing these kind of parts of it, but he innately would actually genuinely see this. Think about that, right? It's like, if you really look at that and be like, you know what, I'm this moment, I'm going to discard everything I think I know. Like, if we were just to do this right now and be like, you know what, I know nothing. How can I know that I know anything truly? How can I truly know this? And you approach it the perspective of this. It's not that you genuinely discard everything you actually think you know or have learned to this point, but you acknowledge, what if you entertain the perspective of genuinely discarding everything you believe you know and only allowing yourself to see that which aligns with what you can see as truth and what you can prove is genuine truth in this moment. Anyways, that's a perspective he get. And then after he came to that realization, that's where he created that thesis, is I think, therefore I am. And he based a lot of his like philosophical findings off of that breakthrough moment where he realized that, how can I truly know what I think I know? Like, what if I discard everything I believe I know, and from this moment forward, I allow myself to be like almost like an empty vessel, a vessel for truth, being like, how little do I know? And this is kind of like a similar philosophy you might hear in like Taoist type philosophies, or people that just simply know, you humble yourself to be like, how little do I actually know? And when you allow yourself to empty yourself of the idea that that everything you know could be false, it could all be fake, it could all be, based on these half truths or false truths, this is when you open yourself up to a very powerful place of receiving truth. And this is, I think, in the deepest right, this is how we, almost like, if we're going to get very poetic about it, it's like, I really believe that when you open up your experience to realizing how little you know, you're humble, that's how the universe can enter through you. That's how the universe, like the larger construct of how things operate, can then show you truth. Anyways, I know now that I know nothing. It's exactly that. That's the exact domain. And that's why I really love that. Like, as a young, college student, hearing about Rene Descartes, literally just an ancient French philosopher who just like devoted his life, and his core realization was that he's like, you know what? I know nothing. I know that I know nothing. I know for a fact that if I discard everything I think I know, maybe I can truly begin to move towards knowing actual truth. And at this point, this was like, shortly after Socrates' time, Aristotle's time. This was where philosophers in the Western realm were intellectualizing everything. Like, philosophers had literally developed academies where men would study and philosophize and intellectualize, the nature of truth. This was like the time in the world. And Rene Descartes was a guy that was like, you know what? Let's actually discard all of this idea of knowing to try to open our mind up to something deeper. And this is just beautiful. I think this is extraordinarily beautiful. Anyways. I don't know if you guys, any viewers watching, this is a random interjection, but this morning I've been kind of reflecting on reaching out to sponsors. Basically I've like reached out to like NordVPN and like AG1 Greens, and I don't know if any of you guys watching have any familiarity with sponsors that you see on YouTube channels. Like, you'll go on a YouTube channel and you'll see a sponsor, you're like, wow, that's like a really dope, reoccurring, really cool sponsor. If there's any sponsors that for whatever reason resonate with you, that you think, that's it's just like stuck out, it's really just like a sponsor that's really just stuck out to you, I'd love to hear any like sponsors. I'm gonna reach out. I've made it a thing today. I'm gonna reach out to a bunch of sponsors and just see what their thoughts are. Apply for sponsorship. Blue Chew. I don't know if that's referring to, if that's a company referring to the sponsorships, but yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Sebastian. Yes, this hat is a great hat. I enjoy it very much. I mean, I found like, I bought this hat like 6 days ago or something, or I ordered it weeks ago, but I kind of remember initially the first time I put on this hat, I low-key was like, And I was like, I love this hat. This hat like makes me feel more expressive and creative and even philosophical in the nature of it. But I almost like low-key at one point, I was like, I don't know if I want to rock this hat all the time, particularly because like I don't want everyone to just draw the attention to the hat, right? It's like everyone's like, whoa, sick hat, or whoa, that's a hat. And I was kind of just like, is this what I want to do? Is this I want to draw attention to the hat? But also I came to this realization where, we as humans, we just sort of we accustom ourselves, we basically get desensitized to things. We normalize. It's almost like this will just there'll be a phase where people will be just like, hyped on the hat. It'll be the forefront of people's attention, but surely there's always so much. There's almost so much to appreciate, enjoy, in creative expression. It's an endless rabbit hole. So a hat is an expressive element, but there's millions of ways to express yourself. Don't know much about it. Skillshare. Skillshare. Word, that's a good thought. I don't know exactly. I know there's School. I don't know if School, Skool, I don't know if they do sponsorships, but if they do sponsorships, like via YouTube, I would absolutely love to. Yeah. Okay, School, no, Skool. But yeah, maybe Skillshare. I know Skillshare is a more like informal platform, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out at some point. But that's not a bad idea. That's the thing is sponsorships. Surely they're everything and anything, right? Any companies, any brands. I don't exactly know how it works, but I know YouTube is. Yeah. Do I have trolls? Trolls are real? Trolls are real people? What? I haven't seen any people trolling, but if I do have trolls, I will. This is the thing. I've been equipped this last week or so. I've been really just like familiarizing the means of just if a person is gonna. It's not even about a person trolling, right? This is what I love. I feel it was a very beautiful realization. Is I'm not here to inevitably suppress or throw salt at people. If a person's obviously hateful or saying like projecting negative hateful things, they're going to be banned from this channel immediately. But if people are just like, fill the comment section with things that are like very unhinged, outlandish, maybe they're trying to evoke a reaction, then I'm immediately going to grant them 10 minutes of, or maybe 30 minutes or whatever, of a timeout. Not because, again, I'm not like trying to neutralize them entirely or like, all right, you're banned from this channel, but I want to make the comment section, I want to filter it. I want people to, realize that maybe they need that. Maybe they need 5-10 minutes to sit there and collect their thoughts, to, figure out what this comment section or this channel's about. Like, that's like a neutral stance. It's like some people, maybe they're just, they're new to the social interaction realm where they just need 5-10 minutes to sort themselves out, to think, to sort of absorb what this channel's about, maybe develop an opinion or thought about whatever's going on. So that's I think a nice thing to grant people. And then of course some people need to get banned. They need accountability. But there are timeouts being handed out. Absolutely, George M. I'm pretty sure I handed you a timeout recently, or I told you that, yeah, I said with very forward, respectful transparency that to George M, that if you're going to try to promote things that are not a part of this channel, that are not aligned with the values of this channel, and it's very like derailing XYZ, then yeah, I'm happy to hand out timeouts in a respectful way. But I'm definitely in the future just gonna, recruit some of these beautiful humans in this community to kind of just moderate, do their thing. I think personally, like the stance I've taken within this is I think no matter how many moderators I have, no matter how many trolls I have, it all comes down to, it reflects on my ability as a facilitator or the channel creator to set the tone for what I'm inviting in this channel. If there's people who desire to have philosophical discussions, learn about music, maybe just enjoy the sounds of the music, the meditative creations, right? That's the tone that I'm setting personally as this creator. And yeah, it's like, I think that's just a matter of time. I think I'm very confident that it doesn't matter how many thousands or whatever people are on this channel, I'm going to continue to set my intention with crystal clear clarity And that is what is going to persist. It doesn't matter if all the people in the world are trying to, project or push back or, maybe just deviate from this. It's just, yeah. I feel like the intention, like intentionality is powerful. Like it's this without going on a million tangents. Intention is powerful. Whether we're talking about in the real world, whether we're talking about on a YouTube channel or stream, right? If a person's intention is really potent, it's clear, it's ever present, right? I think that can penetrate a lot of, well, unintentional, fragmented convolution that people seem to often breed in this modern context. Like people, they bounce around this world in an unconscious stupor, not conscious of what it means to be intentional, what it means to be rooted within an intention within your reality. And it's very powerful because we speak of the word intention. You might think when I'm saying intention, I'm talking about like some sort of narrative of being like, hey, this is my intention to do good things or say good things. Maybe, no, but intention, I think, is a much deeper parallel that actually is more about a deeper embodiment that translates into how your core values operate in the world. Like your intention basically can crystallize and penetrate many things. Like intention is powerful, right? Yeah. So what amp and crossover are you using? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked, my guy. This is a Tonewood amp, yeah. That's actually full circle, full circle, ladies and gentlemen, is I would love to actually get sponsored by Tonewood amp. I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, but I think once I hit about the 10K subscriber base, I would love to reach out to Tonewood amp and be sponsored by them because I love their product. I've truly felt very honored to develop a style based on the Tonewood amp for years. So that would be a sponsor that I would be blessed to be a part of and to promote. Because I do promote it literally every day. For sure, I would be honored to mod for this dope channel. I would love to have you, Ocean. I would love to have you, Ocean. I know Amy and another one, there was another that commented, I forget, it was like your something. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, it's a simple process. Standard moderator. So managing moderator can manage blocked words and change the chat's mods in live. Standard. Can review and remove chats. I think standard is the standard. I'm not sure what the difference really is between managing moderator. I think managing obviously is like the higher tier, but again, like as a moderator, I'll give you those rights to Ocean because I know you've been here pretty frequently and you seem dope as fuck. But I know for a fact, let people like speak their truth. I don't want to like, blatantly censor people. If people are saying stuff that's a little bit, abrasive or whatever, surely that's not the end of the world. Maybe a bit controversial. But if people are obviously saying anything that's hateful against the community standards, against YouTube standards, well then that's kind of, yeah, that speaks for itself. I think that the clear thing I'm just trying to invite, as a guy that's facilitating, as if you're a person that's moderating, is I want to just encourage self-awareness. That's the key thing I'm trying to promote here is if people can communicate in a self-aware, emotionally intelligent way, then I don't see any reason why people can't, have maybe some controversial opinions. Maybe they want to introduce some unique opinions, but it comes down to a lot of it. If people lack self-awareness, like if they're clearly, blatantly lacking self-awareness, like on a deep level, then that's, they're not the viewership. They're not my audience. All right, let's create some beautiful loops here. Let's create some atmosphere. I think I have an idea of how we can do this. I like that. I like that tail end reverberation. It's still going. It's still going. It's just still, wow. I think the attack is a little strong. Oh, no, that's not bad still. Harmonics. Harmonics. Honestly, I'm almost like, I speak of this openly, and this is part of what I appreciate about, you know, the perceiver, the audience that's present here, right? Is, whoa, that was not even plugged in properly. But is, I become desensitized, right? I'm very desensitized to my own guitar playing style. You know, for the better and for the worse, where I've heard harmonics, you know, consistently all day long, but I really appreciate, you know, the external perspective. Because I remember the very first time that I heard artificial harmonics, like pinch harmonics, you know, these beautiful stretched out sounds. I was just enamored, like I was entranced. And I feel like that's a thing that I like to just remember. All right, I'm not sure how that translated, but I think that went all right. Mouth harps, nice, 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 nice. I'm sure that was a play on words, but yes, I deeply resonate with the pan flute. You know, there's just a lot to love in the pan flute, without a shadow of a doubt. The more I play this instrument, like, it's almost to the thing with the pan flute, and which I find humbling but also beautiful, is this instrument requires often almost like a patience. It requires like almost like a meditative state. If you try to play the pan flute and you're just like, you know, maybe like tense, you're very, I don't know, rushing, or you're very like hyper stimulated, you can't necessarily play this instrument effectively, because it requires like a very gentle, requires focus, like focus, patience, which are obviously just like core values, which not all instruments, obviously most instruments, it takes, you got to have focus, you got to be patient to some degree. But for the pan flute, if you're not focused and patient, if you're not breathing in a calm, meditative way, you actually will not play this instrument successfully. It'll sound just jarring, it won't execute properly. Yeah. It's very humbling, because again, I played this for like 6 years or so, and to this day, I make mistakes all the time with the pan flute. It's beautiful. It's very humbling. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna cut out this first little part here. That's where we want to begin. Sure. Interesting. Let's try doing something else. I think that might be a little unmastered, but let's see this. other secondary pattern here. Sure. I see. We'll get that down. That scale got messed up, but that's cool. That's cool. That's actually nice sound quality. That's not as bad as I thought. I want to see how percussion sounds with that. I don't know, I'm just experimenting here. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Alright, let's try one more. I think I know what to do now here. Now I'll introduce this guy here. This one here. Oi. I'm using the walrus ambient. Honestly, no idea what the walrus ambient is, yeah. I play the pan flute like the drums. Nice. That's very stylish, I don't know. Pan flute like the drums. Yeah. I could see playing it rhythmically good. I think what I'd love to do in the future is I would love to get like a mallet, almost like a mallet sort of thing I could put on my thumb, and then I could tap the pan flute, sort of like a drum. But to be perfectly honest, I think for the pan flute it requires a lot of nuance. Like the way I play the pan flute, you can't really just like double it up very successfully. You want to focus all your energy on the pan flute. But let's see how this will go. This is what it's all been building up to. Need more rosin for that. Nice. Best results come from experimenting. Oh yes. Complicated coffees. What? I haven't drinking coffee in like 10 years, bro. Who needs coffee, man? I just like cacao. I like cacao and matcha. Yeah. That was very coarse. This is where the fun begins. This is where it becomes an interesting task here. That's a good mix, I would feel. That's what I'd feel. Nice. Okay. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. I like that first strike. Looping is a beautiful art in itself, I feel. You know, it's definitely, it's like it takes more, it's almost more music production than just looping itself, but it's beautiful. Interesting. I have an idea. All right, that'll be the first loop, I suppose. Let's give that launch off point right there. Interesting. Now I gotta figure out how to perfectly. What's going on That's what I gotta find. So the audio file next to these. Wicked. Thank you. It's very organic. I feel like the more, I like to create in the moment, where that's often where I'm just like performing this music here. I just like to record it while I'm not paying attention and kind of weave it together and create something. The process, the difficult part is definitely just to like master the audio, like make sure everything is kind of perfectly balanced. But with time, that'll be very easy to achieve, but yeah. Beautiful. I think, though, I can't wait. I've spoken this a few times, but later this week I'm going to purchase some new Boss speakers or Bose or whatever, some kind of high quality speakers, and that's going to just really amplify everything really beautifully. Like everything, basically my speakers, they're not bad, they function, but they kind of phase in and out sometimes, and the bass is not truly, like even here. Yeah, there's the bass. It messes around sometimes, but it's gonna make such a beautiful difference having these new speakers. So I'm excited for that. Very excited. Do I know John Mayer's Neon? I know of it, yeah, brother. No idea how to perform it, but beautiful song. Yeah, beautiful song. So I live with my twin. You mentioned him yesterday. Will there be a twin stream? Maybe, probably in the future, but not anytime soon, no. I think managing a stream in a solo capacity is, it's a task. It requires sort of a level of awareness and abilities to juggle sort of the elements of it. But no, I mean, you're not. I think it's a possibility. That's a possibility. But if there's anything that could be forthcoming, with being like the element of being an identical twin is like, it's an experience. It's a life experience. It takes like a good amount of self-awareness to kind of like successfully navigate those waters. Like it's like, if you had a relationship or a family member, of course, that you've known for your entire life, you can think about it and imagine this family member as your brother, right? It's like you have that brethren bond or that, relationship bond with somebody that's been going on for 31 years of your life, right? It's a deep bond. It's a potent thing that takes a lot of self-awareness to navigate in such a way. But surely, I mean, I think in the future, like I've kind of expressed this when people express interest in collaborating or, musically collaborating or stream collaborating. I feel like I treat collaborations as a whole, just expanding off this, right? Be it if I'm going to invite people onto my stream or just have people reoccurring, musically or wherever, I treat it as a very like sacred bond. And long story short, there's actually there's a few people in my sphere, beautiful human beings, that I actually am like in the talks of collaborating. We spent time together, we're getting to know each other, and they have like beautiful platforms. Like they're content creators themselves, they're philosopher type, musician type, sound healer type, that I really am excited to build these relationships with it, professionally, but also just in the context of just getting to know these people and then forge these beautiful collaborations. So it's like, I'm excited. Like, I think in the context of how this channel grows, I solely desire to really just be the facilitator for this channel, but collaborations are 1000% things I'm going to be introducing, but I'm going to do it in a very like sacred way, where the people that I want to bring on this channel are people that I've known, say, for years, or if not, multiple years, that I've really built deep bonds with and desire to like, I know reflect this in the intention of this channel. It's gonna be very exciting, though. I'm very excited for what's is to come with that, with collaborations. And of course, it'll get to a point when I'm doing this streaming thing like around the world, and I'm going around in public and I'm meeting random people. I'm definitely gonna make this like an immersive, collaborative experience. I really am excited to exercise outside of my comfort zone. Go into places where I'm meeting musicians, or like doing like podcasts, kind of interview style interactions with human beings in the real world. On these streams and in various contexts. That's kind of part of my intention as a YouTuber, right? Yeah, it's a wild experience, Amy. It's a blessing though, 1000%, like a powerful blessing. Let's see what we can do here. I think we can just unconsciously record everything. Just record it all. Let it flow through. See how the sound quality is for that. Oh, interesting. Interesting. See how that will fit. Let's see how that will flow with. I think that volume got a little chopped there, but I like that. I like it. Yo, why thank you. Have you heard of Zamfir? I love Zamfir, honestly. Yeah, Zamfir's awesome. Very talented dude. He's actually one of the first pan flute artists I ever heard when I was like a kid. Out here, Channel 2, when Channel 2 was a thing, right? I think it still is a thing, yeah. Where Channel 2, they would play music where they just like go through all the TV listings. And out here, yeah, I think it was Zamfir. That song that's like like it's like slow and very ominous, but it's like whatever that song's called. I think Song of the Condor, maybe that's what it's called. But very beautiful song. I remember in my childhood I'd hear that all the time, and I was like, wow, that's super mellow. But yeah, sharp dressed. Thanks, brother. Thank you, brother. This is just my everyday time. I mean, I feel like I'm just the kind of dude that I strongly believe in, if you just want to, express yourself in a way, if it's if you want to wear, I don't know, a pin on your hat, or, just rock some sort of color palette. I'm a strong believer in that. Is like it's a very beautiful expression. Like, it's a very innate, organic expression, I feel. And especially for me, I'll be honest, I go to, raves and shows and, live music events and beaches and whatever, right? And when I meet strangers, I'll be perfectly honest, especially women, like when I meet pretty much all my previous partners, this is like an immediate attracting feature. I notice the way they dress, their aesthetic. Like, I really notice it immediately. I mean, sometimes it's just an icebreaker. You can walk up to someone and be like, wow, I really like, the way you're dressed, or your style, or like this hat or this scarf or whatever they're rocking. But the reality is, yeah, for me, I don't know why, it's just a thing I've noticed myself attracted to. I'm extremely drawn to expressive clothing. And it makes sense, obviously, as a performance artist, dude, in all these different performance realms, as like, say, when you're working on film sets as an actor or whatever, one of my favorite parts is the wardrobe. Like the wardrobe, they go there, and actually my partner, she's in wardrobe. She works in film and wardrobe. But very basically, one of my favorite things is when you go into the wardrobe, right? And then they look at you and like, all right, we're gonna dress you as, and especially I play a lot of like 70s, like hippies, like period piece people. And they'll dress me like, all right, we're gonna dress you in this like trippy purple suit, and I don't know, give you some green pants, and I don't know, give you some like trippy clothing. And that's such a fun experience, like to get to dress as a character. Sometimes they'll just give you, you know, some sort of random whatever. Like I've played so many different characters because I do background acting, so I'm not like acting, but it's like they'll throw me some trippy wardrobe, and that's such a fun thing to just experiment wearing the wardrobe of a different character. Yeah, it's great. But I've always been drawn to this. Yeah. What is going on? Welcome, Lindsay. What is going on? I'm good. I'm like low key, slightly sleep deprived, which is like my sleep's been weird, I swear. Like I take you know, if you're familiar with this channel, I often take ashwagandha. Like I actually love to openly express my love for damiana and ashwagandha. These are both two natural herbs. Very, very safe. I take them in very small doses that you can integrate, you know, to increase your quality of sleep. It makes you have a deeper quality of sleep. It doesn't help you fall asleep necessarily. But anyways, I like to experiment here and there with ashwagandha and damiana. And, you know, sometimes if I'm like taking ashwagandha and then I go and train a couple hours of strength training to like 9 o'clock or something, you know, 9 o'clock at night, and then I do a 2 hour live stream or something, sometimes my sleep cycle can already be a little bit off. Like I'll be taking naps and I'll be up to like 1 or something. So yeah, it's like I feel like simply what I'm saying is there's so much you can do to influence your sleep schedule for the better. And of course, like the depth of sleep is more important, I think. I mean, obviously the rhythm and the timing is very important. Many things are important when you're getting sleep, but I noticed there's things you can influence to actually deepen your sleep experience. Be it if we're talking about just natural herbs that influence in things like your adrenals and just certain hormones, but even further, you know, this is why I'm a very strong advocate of lucid dreaming. I've been studying lucid dreaming the last 6, 7 months now, actually. And, you know, if you're familiar with my channel, I have a video that I released, a long form my YouTube video, where I expressed about a week ago I had my first lucid dream. And this was like weird and very bizarre at the same time. 13 days ago when I released that. Wow. Yeah, that was way longer. So 13 days ago, yeah, I released that video that I had my first lucid dream. And it was weird, where in this lucid dream, like there was a bunch of details where I was at my old house. I was at a party that was my birthday party, a celebration for me and my twin. And I guess at some point I like realized that the birthday cake for some reason said my brother's name, but it didn't say my name. And I was like, ah, this is, there's no reason my name wouldn't be on there. Like the cake would be for both of us. That's not real. Like in the real world, we're celebrated equally. This is a dream. I'm inside of a lucid dream. And then the second that occurred, I immediately just, everything became extremely vivid and I was in a lucid dream. And then I started to do all these like weird lucid dream stuff. But yeah, long story short, I think there is an extraordinary domain of how we experience our sleep. What I'm simply saying in this long succession of words is the more we introduce like conscious awareness to not only our subconscious mind, but we study our dreams. We be a student of our dreams. We be a student of increasing our sleep quality by studying things like lucid dreaming, like studying the philosophical nature of what actually translates into higher quality dreams. This is basically what lucid dreaming is. Because I'll be perfectly honest, for many years, I was intrigued about lucid dreaming, but I was never actually that genuinely interested. But the thing that changed was when I came across a podcast. There's Aubrey Marcus and Andrew Holosek podcast, about 2.5 hours. For whatever reason, I was sitting in bed with my partner at one point, and I was just like watching this entire podcast, start to finish. I was just relaxing, and I was really taking in every detail of this podcast. And after that moment, I became enamored with Andrew Holosek's perspective of what lucid dreaming is, of what the ancient Tibetan Buddhists, what they connected lucid dreaming to on a philosophical level, on a spiritual level. So anyways, what I'm basically saying is when you become a student of your dream, you can realize that dreaming is not obviously just physiological. Dreaming is not just, circadian rhythmic wise, or it's not just relating to your circadian rhythm. It's not just relating to your psychological body, but of course it is. But it also actually relates more so to your relationship with your psychological body. So maybe like your spiritual or energetic body. Like there's so many different elements of how we can understand our dreams, what the significance of them they are, and how we influence them with our conscious mind. And the simplest way, what I'm saying is, there's a lot of things, be it philosophical beliefs, that we can actually begin to nurture and cultivate in our waking world that deeply influences the way our subconscious mind experiences our dreams. And the simplest thing, like this is not as complex as I'm trying to maybe emulate it, is we as human beings, the core reason why we do not lucid dream, like this is the core belief, and I've spoken this, once or twice if you've been here before on this YouTube channel. There's a core belief that the ancient Tibetan Buddhists, or the ancient dream yogis, as they would call them, what they believed was lucid dreaming is actually a natural state that all of us achieve. It's not like something that we have to, jump through all these hoops and intellectualize and do all these special practices. No. They believe that this is actually a natural state that all humans are supposed to achieve. It's a visionary state that we basically achieve once we've basically attained a very specific mentality or even a state of spiritual consciousness in our waking world. And this is something we can actually integrate. And the core belief that basically surrounds around this is that we as human beings in our waking world, we're reinforcing non-lucidity. So we, in our waking world, we're reinforcing various beliefs. And again, the one core one is we're reinforcing non-lucidity. We're telling ourselves, this is real. This is real. We're telling ourselves this material world, this waking world is real. We're telling ourselves that all of this is fixed. We're telling ourselves it's definite. We're not realizing the formless, illusionary nature of this waking world on an unconscious level. And why we're doing this, because we are, in many rights, we're addicted. We're addicted to this material world. We're addicted to this waking world, right? We're surrounded by all these like technologically oversaturated sensory experiences that we're like, oh yeah, this is real. This is real. Like it's a collective, it's like a shared collective belief that we're all reinforcing that, of course, this is real. How could this not be anything but real? But the truth is, when you allow yourself to reinforce the deeper truth of being like, this is all illusionary, this is formless, this isn't real, this waking world is not, in fact, real, this actually gives you a deeper ability to penetrate into the subconscious and then form a relationship with the dream world. Basically, what I'm saying in the simplest way is the reason we don't go lucid in our dreams is because we confirm non-lucidity in the waking world. So if you allow yourself to basically return to lucidity, be present, be conscious, see through the illusions of this waking world, this then gives your brain permission to then, on a deep level, on a subconscious level, enter the dream realm and enter lucidity in the dream world, which then creates this massive momentum that reinforces, everything is not fixed. It's not formed. It's a formless thing. It's an illusion. And then it just continues off in that pattern until you start to unravel the illusions in your dream world, and your subconscious basically is brought to the surface. Anyways, thank you for listening. I love Waffles. Yo, I love Waffles too, user Nef4. All these complex symbols. I love Waffles too, brother. That being said, bro, we can all agree Waffles are dope as fuck, but Teflon, or I think that's what it is, Teflon, bro. I don't think, if you're not using like whatever it's called, I used to eat waffles all the time, then I realized there's that like plastic Teflon that leaches into your waffle mix when you make them out of most waffle makers, and that's really bad for everything. Have you read anything about a person's astral projecting in someone else's dream? To Mona Lisa smiles. I've never read about that. I've listened to podcasts, and I've had people explain to me they've done similar stuff to that. Nice. We got Deba here, Deba-ish, Rana. I think that says enough. Psycho living, blah, blah. I think you meant psychobablia, isolate. Brother, the Debe, I live in the real world, brother. I am living and breathing all the time in communities, people. I'm speaking to people. I'd say touch grass, brother. These are very well researched, very beautiful concepts. But yes, I digress. I think it's almost high time to grab some electric guitar stuff and start shredding. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of pans have harmful metals. Sure, yeah. Yeah, cold hard facts, yeah. Dreams are insane, so I write short stories about them. They're very nice. I mean, I'm assuming when you mean insane, not really, yeah, I'm sure you mean like bizarre, maybe negative in the nature of them. But I mean, I'll be honest, I don't have nightmares very often. I actually had a nightmare a few days ago, very metaphorical, very profound. I remember unpackaging and be like, wow. But I typically have very blissful, very lucid dreams. Not like lucid dreams, but clear. They're very contextual, very clear cut. But I would say that being said, there's so much to be said if you're experiencing like dark dreams and night terrors, nightmares. A lot of people that are lucid dreamers, like actually some of the specialists that I was listening to, they were speaking about how they've devoted 20, 30 years of their life studying dreams, doing lucid dreams. Basically, if you're experiencing like negative dreams, like very intense subject matter, this is often like a very powerful foundation to learn to like integrate and lean into learning to unpackage your subconscious mind. It's almost like, um, intense, harrowing, maybe nightmarish type dreams are not necessarily a bad thing. They're obviously not a good thing, but I'm sure it's like this is repressed, like unconscious materia that you actually need to learn. It's almost like this is an even further invitation to study your dreams and to learn to enter the dream realm in a conscious place. But yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. CPM. I don't know if I can help you, brother. What do you need help about? What do you need help from? Because I don't know. I can't. No promises here. This is a YouTube live stream. This is just a YouTube live stream. Yeah, no, but to Mona Lisa, absolutely. I kind of briefly touched on. No, I've actually never read anything specific about, yeah, the nature of another person astral projecting another person's dream. I've actually had a friend, a good friend of mine, actually. I love this dude. Shout out Spencer. He was one of the few people in my life that for whatever reason was extremely connected to metaphysical dimensions. Like, and I really believe he was. Like the way he spoke about these things, a lot of the ways that he connected with metaphysical things. He also loved metaphysical philosophy and Alan Watts, and he still does, of course. But anyways, Spencer would often tell me how he actually was like, "Hey brother, did you see me? Did you see me in your dream the other night? Or did you see when I actually went into your dream and I blessed you? Or I like, I gave you good energy, or I like was, offering this, or like." It's interesting how, yeah, from my familiarities, yes, people have the ability to influence people in other people's dreams. If you're like you know, a lucid dreamer and it's not that you're, say, astral projecting another dream. That's a whole other thing I can imagine. Like, sure, if you are astral projecting, that's not even about dreaming. That's like that's being in a waking realm. Again, I'm not an expert. I don't astral project. I've done it once in my life accidentally. But astral projecting is a very different experience. But in the lucid dream realm, yes, you can visit other people's dreams. And if you're speaking, I'm sure, out of almost like a negative connotation. See, the thing is, in the lucid dream realm, like they talk about this a lot in the book. Lucid dreaming has a lot to do with your perception of karma. That is, karma holds weight in different dimensions. So that is, if you live karma in a thought, like you think an action or you think something that's negative, that is a realm of karma. But if you reinforce that thought stream, then you're feeding the karma. And if you then feed that thought stream to a point where you're acting off of that karma, then the karma enters another tier, becomes like a whole full-fledged dimension. And the thing is, what we experience in our dreams is only one thinly veiled, tier of karma. So if someone's saying something, like if someone's like entering a dream and influencing someone in their dream, that's only experiences a very thinly veiled realm of karma, depending on the person's integrity, depending on their oral or their moral awareness of karma. Almost like if they have good intentions for you or for other people, then this will influence the karma for the better or for the worse. And depending on how they're perpetuating or reinforcing, what their thoughts are, their intentions are in a dream, that can then unravel into a place where maybe it manifests into a person forming beliefs around these thoughts and then forming actions based off these thoughts and these beliefs. But very simply, if a person just simply has a very surface level thought that is experienced in a dream, that is influencing someone in the dream, and they don't understand the nature of how they've, fully integrated this karma, they don't hold a lot of weight or ability to influence you. And basically, if you have strong boundaries and a strong awareness of yourself and your ability to be rooted within your own karma, who you are, your subconscious mind, then no, another person's influence, if they say are a lucid dreamer to some degree, they're not going to be able to really powerfully influence you, just karmically speaking. Maybe they have a thought, maybe they believe they have some influence, maybe they really strongly believe this, but basically, again, almost like speaking from a lot of what the literature speaks to is a person's thoughts don't hold as much weight as their actual actions. And if your actions in the real world, if your actions in the real world hold a much deeper karmic, bond than a person's thoughts inside of a dream, well, quintessentially, you understand that they can't truly harm you. Obviously, maybe it's a thing to be conscious of. Maybe, you want to unpackage your relationship with if you think people are astral projecting or influencing you karmically, say, in your dream realm. But it's all about, I think, you understanding the nature of the weight that your actions have in the real world versus, the weight that people, their actions that they might think they, might try to confirm or integrate in the dream world. They're very different things. They hold different karmic weight. And again, it's all about what you're reinforcing. If that makes sense. Yeah. They're not negative. They're just pretty crazy in a cool way. Nice. That's beautiful then. Yeah, I wouldn't say, yeah, they're crazy in a cool way. Just psychedelic, I'm sure. Dreams, honestly, dreams themselves, without going too deep down the rabbit hole, dreams are literally just the unfiltered, almost amplified human psyche. It's like the subconscious mind. It's just amplified. All the beauty and all the chaos. And the reality is, this is why I think studying dream yoga, that is, basically dream yoga is studying lucid dreams, but with an awareness of integrating your spiritual body or your spiritual, philosophies, integrating those spiritual philosophies inside of a lucid dreaming, inside of a lucid dream. That's what dream yoga is. That's what the entire study of a lot of these things. That's what the ancient Tibetan Buddhists and the Buddha himself and also the ancient Spanish Toltec tribes, that's what they practiced, was studying dream yoga. And what I'm simply saying is, if you're a person that's experiencing crazy, chaotic, unhinged dreams, maybe you're a person that experiences crazy, unhinged, chaotic, lucid dreams, or even night terrors, all these sorts, a lot of what these dream yoga or lucid dreaming specialists speak of is basically you're experiencing only one slim veil of a much deeper thing. It's almost like you have to basically spiritually integrate yourself and realize the role that plays in lucid dreams. Lucid dreaming in itself is not inherently good or bad. it's like it's a neutral entity. It's basically it's an engagement with the quantum. Like that's the thing is you do realize that lucid dreaming is like the same dimension that you experience when you say enter an altered, transcendental meditative state, or maybe like an altered state of consciousness via psychedelia. Like you're entering the unknown, you're entering the non-material realm, and it has the same level of influence where you yourself need to take it upon yourself to enter this place, this altered state, with almost like a sacred reverence, with a sacred awareness of yourself, of the nature of what these things are and how you can positively interact with these things. It's all about your intention again. If you're intentional in the way that you're interacting with, say, something like a lucid dream realm, which again, it's like the dream realm itself is inherently non-lucid. A lot of us, in a spiritual sense, we reinforce non-lucidity in our psychology, and then that translates into how we experience our dreams. That's not how we're supposed to actually experience dreams. Like the more natural, integrated state of the human experience is actually supposed to be more lucid. We're supposed to be present. We're supposed to be lucid. This is a huge part of it. Wow, that's a deep philosophical rabbit hole. In the simplest, right? Presence is good. Having a healthy, intentional, warm relationship with your subconscious will serve you well, right? And if you're a person that has strayed from that, or if all of us, we're in the modern 2026, our programming is ever present, right? A lot of us, we're deeply programmed. We have a uphill farce with our brain, our psychological programming. It's important to sort of like reintroduce these things, to think about these things. Yo, what's good, Rila? I'm good. Or reels. I don't know why I said I saw Rila, but let's turn up this filter. I can't see half of what's going on here. Now I can see. There we are. Full brightness. This is beautiful. I can see. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. This is way easier to see everything. I can see all the comments. Remember to stay hydrated, friends. Remember to stay hydrated. I'm going to get myself some water. G3 office music. G3 office music. I don't know what that means. I mean, if you're talking about like the office theme song or something, it's like, I don't think I'm the guy. Yeah, they're not negative and stuff. Interesting. I'm so curious of what CPM dude that was asking for help urgently and then just disappeared. I have a feeling he was some sort of troll or some sort of spam bot. But that's okay. This is YouTube. The wilderness of YouTube land. Man, if copyright infringement was not a thing, I'd be playing such trippy, dope music like 90% of the time. And just dancing to it and improvising over top of it. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe that's what's the beauty of Patreon is. Because, I'm going to get a Patreon soon where, especially when I'm monetized and I'm like, guiding a massive audience or whatever, I think what I'm 100% going to do is I'm going to, have these like unhinged kind of conversations about like psychedelics, things that are, you know, beyond the regulations of YouTube. And, you know, maybe that'll include listening to music and improvising over music that doesn't fit the guidelines of YouTube's copyright infringement. I don't know if that might still apply to Patreon, but maybe. So much potential with Patreon. I might have to just start talking about so much that I just actually do it. I think Patreon's a paid subscription though too, so gotta really pull the trigger. Yeah, it is a crystal. Yeah, this is just a crystal. Hey, a streamer named Truther suddenly plays actual music and then now dances to it. Because he do that because he's a dances. No, I mean, if he's playing music that's copyrighted, he's either making like some sort of arrangement with the artist that he's using their copyrighted music for, or he's just being demonetized. Yeah, he's basically like, it's possible that he's just doing the thing where he's using their music, but he doesn't care. Like he doesn't mind getting demonetized for the streams because he doesn't need to make money off of it or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard this over and over again. I've never found this Truther. People have mentioned this guy a few times. Truther777. Says apparently he looks like me. Oh, whoa, he does look like me. What? No, wait, this is no, hold up. Yeah. He doesn't really have a cool style, but he doesn't have a bad style. So Truther777. I can tell already from an immediate sense, I don't know if he's that's cool that he's a dancer, you say. Like immediately massive respect because, you know, as a dancer to another dancer. Is he a tutter though? That's the real question. Is he a tutter? Truther777. Coaches spiritual calls. Okay. I don't know if he's so Truther777, he has 47.2K subscribers. His YouTube doesn't seem to have a whole lot going on. So he's not really, I guess he's maybe like a TikToker or something. He's not really a YouTuber. Yeah, he hasn't done shit on YouTube. Well, nice. You know, that astonishes me. Can you dance for us? I can, sure. This is dance, brother. If I had music, this would be more interesting. It's better to dance to music, but I don't have music dance to that wouldn't get copyrighted. But basically, I'm a tutter. Like I do tutting, popping, locking, liquid. Really just tons of stuff. That all just is using the coordination that I've achieved through playing guitar. Yeah, it's rave. Lots of things. I have these babies. These are light gloves. You see, these look phenomenal in the dark, lights. I've created various different sets. Yeah, I go to raves all the time. It inspires me. Like going and dancing and meeting really dope people is like part of the simple joys of life. Like, you know, life can be just like chaotic and, you know, maybe just like, yeah, just life is crazy. And then you just go and meet beautiful humans and dance for like 4 hours of your life. And then suddenly you're awakened like a creative portal. Yeah, I love dance. It's beautiful. I think we're gonna grab out our avenues now. This is the moment. This is the time. I'm feeling. Let's do some echo lead. Do justice to this new. You know, if you've been here the last couple days, I discovered a new amplifier on Ableton. Super happy with the sound. It's actually mind-blowing how beautiful it sounds. It's probably the best guitar amplifier I've ever heard. And there's actually quite a few of them. Yeah. Music. Okay, let's just grab a guitar amp. Guitar rig 6. Beautiful, beautiful. Some echo lead. Flip it on the right channel. Yeah. Yo, what's good, Cap K? Yeah, very nice, very nice. Tao quickly come. Aye. Nice. Very beautiful. Not bad ocean chilling after some piano. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 432 hertz. Not in 432 hertz, yeah. Yeah. Look cool in slow-mo. Nice. I know I had like the one riff from Neurotica, the Polyphia song. Was it? And it goes into some sort of direction I don't know. I'm just improvising that one. I love that song though. I'd love to get that down. Yeah. Yo. Getting that electric touch back, man. Nice. Yeah, bro. It's been like 5, 6 days and off of months, like 4 months off, and it's immediately just flows. It just feels so natural. And especially with this beautiful, beautiful guitar and this beautiful amp that I've discovered. It's just like, it's kind of a reminder how, natural, and honestly, it's like even just palatable the electric guitar is. I think too with the electric guitar, I'll be honest, a lot of playing the electric guitar more so has to do with, at least the way I like to play, it's improv. It's improvising over top of pieces. So that's where I feel like the true difficulty arises. Like that's the true challenge is if you say like, I couldn't do this because I get copyrighted. But if I were to like pop on, like a song, like a backtrack or some beautiful electronic song, what I usually do if I'm not on a stream is I'll improvise over top of it. And that's where you really are challenging yourself musically. That's like taking it to another level. Yeah, and then of course you get to alternate keys and it sounds beautiful. That reminds me of Dylan. Nice. I'm not sure what you mean, or whom you mean by Dylan, but Dylan. Wicked, wicked, wicked. What a sound, what a sound. Magic. I feel called to just kind of, just take a breather. I think it's still, yeah, it's raining outside. Just to hang outside for a brief period and just kind of enjoy the beautiful sounds of the rain. Wow. It really is nice out here. Something about rain, like it's just such a powerful, beautiful experience. You know, I love to sort of think about it sometimes. It's like, it's cool to just kind of like create different musical domains, you know, really explore various dimensions of music. But it's also nice to just return, you know, to the simplicity sometimes, you know, just to root yourself back in a simple sort of dimension of sound. Yes, sir. I feel like I'd love to learn to dance with this hat in the future. Let's do some trippy dance tricks. Yeah. I think you're the kind of guy that would do a pole dance. No. You're gravely mistaken. I've had that before, though. I'm a tutter. I'm a dance. I can do tutting. Nah. I mean, hey, no shame. No shame. I've met... Of course, I have friends, like female friends, that are phenomenal pole dancers. And they treat it like an art form. But, yeah, no shame. But nah, I've never pole danced. Nah. Nah, I'm more the type that's drawn to martial forms and tricking. So, you know, like backflips and advanced tricking. That's more my speed. That's more my speed. Yeah. But hey, no shame if you guys fuck with pole dancing. Hey, it's a beautiful art form. Again, I got some beautiful friends that are really into pole dancing. I'm gonna grab a ritual insect. It's funny, like I find it's the more I explore dance, right? You know, like tutting and you know, I'm a part of like dance communities and I meet dancers, like performance artists, like some of the most like exquisite, radiant, feminine energies, you know, that just embrace dance, right? You come to realize that there's no shame. Like shame is this weird ass construct where, you know, a lot of men they hold this where it's not even about like say shame, like capital S shame, where it's like it's about a lot of men they suppress the fuck out of themselves. Like it's just a sad reality. I mean, I speak about this all day long. I'm wearing a hat, and a lot of people are like, "Whoa, it's a hat!" Like what a egregious, outlandish experience. But I'm talking about on the dance floor. A lot of men don't even realize what's on the other side of unlocking the portal that is dance. And I'll be honest, without you know, almost like flexing, the last 3 partners that I've met that have been the most radiant, incredible romantic partners I've had in my life I've all met on the dance floor. There's no coincidence there. I never go to dance floors to meet women. I'll be honest, I've been dancing for 16 years. I love dance. Dance is like my safe space. I like love everything to do with dance community. What I'm simply saying is a lot of men, like, you know, you guys are like speaking about pole dancing, whatever. I don't know. I'm sure if a person wanted to pole dance, I'm not going to sit there and be like, wow, that person's insane. Men or women. Especially, I know lots of women that are phenomenal pole dancers. Most of them are hobbyists. They're not strippers. Some are, but, you know, it's like, I think people shouldn't
they're not realizing how much they're boxing themselves in. Like they're boxing themselves into some weird ass, limited, very boring ass life by just trying to like attach these boxes to things. You know, it's like, so basically what I'm saying is once you're a member of the dance community, you realize that a lot of people are shaming and suppressing themselves, right? You know, if a guy wants to dance and just really fucking let it loose, bro, you know, I think that's dope. Like, I mean, I know I'm rooted within my masculinity. I know who I am. I love dancing. I'm a tutter, etc., etc. But, you know, I don't judge or shame people at all. Like, if they want to dance, however they want to dance. And that's after years and years and years and years of, like, honoring and loving the dance community. Like, seeing the dance community, dancing, expressing yourself is a safe space, right? So I just want to put that out there, friends. I've been trying to incorporate some of my poetry with piano, but I'm no singer. Word. Interesting. I commend you, Cat K. I commend you, dog. I think poetry, singing, like songwriting from piano, is a beautiful, pure expression. I've been telling myself actually for a while now I want to incorporate my own vocals because I love vocalizing. I write tons of music, especially lately, on the guitar. A lot of it's like Adam Gontier, sort of like Queens of the Stone Age type music, where I'm just like belting out like drop D affiliated triads. Like that's the shit I go for. But I think there's magic in just playing piano chords, just like dropping some triads and playing some like soulful, beautiful melodies. I'll be perfectly honest, I think the piano is probably the most versatile foundation for applying vocals. I've said this many times. The piano has like a unique ability to create spaces, right? You play a triad and it rings out. It's almost perfect for accenting beautiful, silky, soulful vocals. Like I really feel this. So I think Cap K, brother, you could like say anything. You could sing like anything. You could speak spoken word. You could be like speaking words, spoken words in the simplest way, and I think it would flow really well. You know, if you're fucking with the piano. Yeah. Do 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 do. I think you're the kind of guys with that. The night's changed from folk guitar to electric. Bob Dylan. The night he changed from folk guitar to electric. Nice. I don't know. I don't know much about Bob Dylan, but he's dope. He does pull dance. Watch some of his other videos. Who's what? I've never pulled dance in my life, but hey, bro, if I decided to, one day, who knows? I would probably be, I don't know. I wouldn't shame anyone for doing whatever they want. But so, as of yet, the closest I've done to anything in that relation is I know how to do the human flag, calisthenics. So I can go on like a pole and do like that sideways human flag. But that's just advanced calisthenics. Yeah. So Cap K, that's dope. I'm also a poet. No, I mean that yes is an art form, not like women in night bars. Oh, of course. No, that's the thing. I'm a performance artist. Like, you know, I do fire performance. I do like acrobatics on stage. I know many performers, many, like literally countless. Most of them women, of course. A handful of men that are like super dope, talented, like basically similar to myself, martial artists, talented acrobatics, circus athletes. But then there's mostly women. Most of them are phenomenal, radiant, very expressive, empowered women. And there's a handful of them that are just pole dancers. And I'll be honest, like 70, 80, 90% of them, they do it as a recreational thing. They're not strippers. Maybe they want to take it to a club. Who knows? Maybe they want to make money. And they're really empowered in that. But most of them, they do it as a hobby. Pole dancing is a beautiful hobby. But yeah. Ever played the handpan? I have tried it, yeah. I love the handpan. If I could afford to drop a couple grand on a handpan, and maybe I will in the future, then absolutely. It would fit so beautifully. Yo, thank you. Thank you. Repeats. Man, this you guys can't all. This ritual incense is like It's such a powerful scent. Like what's going on here is like, I don't actually know what it is. I think this one's called Lumbini. If I were to guess, it's like a bunch of like almost like essential herbs. Like it's like this just pure herbs. This is from Nepal. There's a traveling merchant that brings all these, and it's from this like I think I've spoken once or twice. It's like a sacred cottage. It's almost like a monastery in Nepal, where all these women they roll these, and it's from like these really beautiful pure herbs. It's a very clean burning scent. Yeah, it's great. It smells really good. It's like really grounding. I love this, man. I love this feeling. The rain. This is all so great. A woman loves the attraction of a man who knows how to dance. That's for sure. You can say that again, bro. I mean, that's probably, that's the quintessential thing. Most people are like, wow, women love men. It goes way beyond that. Women are like infatuated, they're like attracted to on such a deep level, not just men that who can dance, men who are safe in their energy, in their bodies, men who know how to navigate consent, men who know how to regulate their nervous system, men who know how to express themselves and unapologetically express themselves. All those things are oriented in what dance teaches you. But yeah, it's fun to dance, like moving your body. I'll be honest, like, again, without flexing, I'll meet all my romantic partners as the last few years, ones that I'm like so deeply grateful to know, through the dance community. I interact with them non-verbally. I navigate those waters of feeling into their energy. And I'll be honest, I do this all the time. Like, this is the thing, is the beauty when you get really good at dancing, you can meet women all the time. You meet, obviously, all humans, but you connect with them on a non-verbal way. And it's a very sacred dance. Like, I've met so many women where I'll, like, honor their boundaries and I'll connect with them where we're just dancing. It's like it's a person that maybe I'll meet as a friend. Maybe we'll talk about YouTube. We'll talk about, dance and performance. But it's like there's a sacred connection in connecting non-verbally. It's a sacred language, because you realize most of how we interact with human beings is non-verbal, right? So if you become fluent at like navigating the non-verbal realms, honoring the sacred and energetic boundaries of a woman, and you're constantly like navigating those waters, it's life-changing. You'll meet way more women than you'll ever meet in your life in a verbal exchange, in a non-verbal safe container, because of the way your body is interacting and communicating. So yeah, it's a deep rabbit hole. It's almost like, I'll be honest, I speak to this day, it's almost it's saddening how a lot of men, how powerful of a portal, oh, we disconnected, we reconnected, they write off how powerful of a portal dancing is. Like, I look at it, I'm like, wow, like a lot of modern men, they just don't even know they don't even realize how much they've like boxed themselves into a place where they're like disconnecting themselves from the opposite sex, just because they simply just haven't gone out and explored openly how to dance and honor their body and etc., etc. And obviously it's not too late, anyone can do that any time they want. You have free autonomy to go and push yourself out of your comfort zone and learn to connect with your body and dance and music, and it's a beautiful portal. But I honestly, like, I like laugh at the sky so many times. I'm like, holy shit, do I love the dance community. Like, I love every part about it so deeply. Yeah, it's Capscape for sure. That's valid. This is a Nai, Nai. It's a Romanian pan flute. It's beautiful. Can I dance for you? I can dance, brother. I mean, I don't have music, because the music I would play would get copyrighted. But you can imagine that a lot of dance is musicality. It's rhythmic awareness. It's doing like basically micro interactions and transitioning. It's basically the same. I dance the same way that I play guitar. Like, I create weird transitions. I'm also a finger tutter, so I do lots of like muscle memory that's all about that. I do popping and locking and liquid, and usually when I'm dancing I also throw like spinning kicks and cartwheel kicks and handstands. Like, I go nuts. I like to just involve the whole body. I just feel like I just did an eighth of mushrooms. Wow. That's so beautiful. Nice, Medusa. That's super beautiful. I know how you feel, though. I know how you feel, Medusa. I sometimes stumble ass backwards into experiences that make me feel like I'm high as fuck on mushrooms. Like, genuinely, some songwriting portals, some random experiences and alignments, 1000%. I'm like sober as it gets. But my whole body, my whole experience feels like I've entered a psychedelic state. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But I'm happy that that's, yeah. I've never seen anyone play one of those. Nice. Yeah, bro. That's the things I carry with me everywhere, right? Because I have it like hugs my body. I have like a case, and I carry this with me everywhere, right? It's actually made to hug the body. And it's lightweight. It's literally like, this is weightless. It's weightless. I don't even notice it's there. I have it on me always. And this is a niche instrument. It's extremely rare to see people play it because it's niche. It's difficult to play. Firstly, it has a high learning curve. Once you get it, then you got it. But yeah. It's a beautiful sound, though. That's what's so great. Is like, it's rare, but so beautiful. So when you do hear the sound, it's like astonishing. You're like, wow, I've never heard this sound, because again, most people just don't go about and learn to play it. But it's the most beautiful sound, truthfully. Yeah, must be some of that alien weed. Nice. Sure. Let's go with that. You could make this channel a handpan channel and call it a Shay in E. A Shay in E. Huh. So a Shay, but I'm in the key of E. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna make any pivots to this channel, but I get you. I hear you. I'll be honest to Madeline, I'm going to grab the handpan one day. I'll be honest, like I've spoken, I have a long list of instruments that's way higher than the handpan. I might get a tongue drum, very soon, but the handpan is like, it costs like multiple grand, right? For a good handpan, it costs you like at least $1.50. So, yeah, I can think of like 5-6 instruments off the top of my head that are way higher on my priority than getting a handpan. But, yeah, one day. Once I'm receiving those beautiful paychecks from YouTube, I'm sure I'll go nuts. I'll buy every instrument that I think of, Show us that thing again. What was that? I'm not sure what you mean, Chico. One sec, brother. I'm gonna fuse something. I'm gonna burn this. Wow, this rain though, I have to say, this is just class. It's just great. Let's try maybe like an angle. Connecting with the ancient sounds. I'm not sure what you meant, Chico, about something. Did you watch Waking Life? I haven't. I was entering. I swore, bro. That was on my mind, but I just haven't. If anyone's stuck in the Russian patterns, try dancing. I highly recommend it. I agree so much. Dance is like a powerful thing for the mind. Like it's like the somatic release of dancing, like and dancing and connect in a community of people who are all like. Think about this, right? When you go to dance by yourself, it's beautiful. It's an expression. It's like very powerful. But when you're doing it with a room full of people who are all there to literally just celebrate existence, it's just such a beautiful thing. Yeah? Well, you'll get there one day. You'll get there one day with the dancing, Ocean. I may not be the same, but that's not important. No freedom till we're equal. Yeah, damn right. Keep living your special life with support. Interesting. Nice. I don't know how that has any relevance to anything we're saying, but thank you. Unless you're David, you're referring to something relating to people expressing their bodies. I don't know, bro. Like, that's the thing is, if that's the connection you're making, sweet, sweet. But nothing I said had anything to do with LGBTQ plus. Like, people expressing their bodies, we're talking about women, men, just simply expressing themselves without demonizing or shaming themselves. That can pertain, that can pertain to people's belief systems about LGBTQ plus, but that had nothing to do with anything. I mean, I'll be honest, for me, that's a no-brainer. People shouldn't demonize, shame. People are good or bad people, regardless of their ethnicity, their orientation. Like, people, there's good and bad people everywhere. Like, there's people that are, just shitty people, and every given ethnicity and orientation, it doesn't discriminate. Like, that's the thing, this is why I think it's stupid to discriminate people in general. You shouldn't judge a person by XYZ, their orientation or their skin color, obviously. But it's like, the fact is, there's good and bad people of every given, dimension you can imagine. So, yeah, I think people that try to fixate on, like, judging people for their orientation is, I don't know, it's a deeply woven, it says more about their misconception of much deeper issues than orientation. I say this, I say this of a man who's just, I'm the quintessential, what's the word? I'm just a straight man. I'm the one, what's the word? The privileged, let's maybe say the word privilege, I don't know, I don't give it, it's just I'm the generic embodiment of, just, I love being a man. I love the orientation. I love honoring the feminine. But that being said, it's never been an issue in my mind, to not judge or discriminate people based on their orientation. And that being said, that doesn't mean that people are immediately good or bad or, cannot be. Ethereal and E is the most known YouTuber. Ah. I've never heard of this fellow. I've never heard of Ethereal E. Good to know, though. Good to know. Yeah. What's the next instrument you're planning to purchase? An electric cello. Handpan. Harp guitar. Probably another acoustic guitar. Like, that's the list I can think of so far. A violin. Multiple flutes. Jazz flute. This is just the grand piano. Well, I definitely need to get a keyboard. Like a full-sized weighted keyboard. I don't know. There's a lot. Didgeridoo's on there. Full chimes. Probably a harp one day. That's the immediate. That's the immediate. Damn, I love that melody. Shout out to Hans Zimmerman, man. I love Hans Zimmerman. And shout out to, it's Hans Zimmerman that made, that other score, yeah. You're a cool dude with a loose mood. Nice. Good vibes in a magical way. Makes my veins tingle. Wow. No, I makes your veins. I get you, brother. Oh no. Oh damn. That is sad. We just experienced this indentation. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to drop another, like, these only cost like $20-$30, truthfully. Like, I can order a new one of these for like $30. But sadly, this is no longer, it's no longer perfect. I mean, you can still, it still works. It still functions very well, but it's, the illusion can be shattered, you know? But yeah, anyways. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Yeah, your veins, I get you. You're feeling, yeah, that's beautiful, brother. Like, you're feeling, inspired. You're feeling inspired. Where did you get the flute from? That's the beauty of it. This is, you can purchase these, usually, you gotta purchase them in Europe. Like, these are made in Europe, almost exclusively. If you ever want to buy them, you know, places like, places in, like, what is it, Poland, Germany, a lot of, like, European countries, that's where these are made. This one's made in Poland, actually. But I bought this locally. And that's the thing, actually, when I go on Facebook Market, there's actually many people sell pan flutes. Because they buy them, they're like, whoa, this looks so beautiful. They try and they fail. Like, they try to learn, or maybe someone gifts it to them. This was gifted to this really awesome dude. He's like this guy who's a flutist. His wife gifted him this pan flute. He said he played it like once or twice, could not learn it. He was just like, it was impossible. And so I remember he posted it on Facebook Market for like a really good price. And this was like new. It's literally pretty much like brand new. It's untouched. And yeah, I just purchased off Facebook. I immediately knew what he had. I was like, this is a perfect, because I've had 2 of these. I've actually technically 3, but I had one returned that are the exact same type. Like one that I got from the panflutestore.com. Basically, you order these online from pan flute makers, and they usually cost, like, I got this for about $250. This is about $700 new, not including shipping. This guy's $700. And usually, they're about $400 or $500. Like this type, because this is a concert professional Romanian knife. Like, it's a concert style. This is a professional style one. You can buy like little Peruvian ones, you can buy miniature ones, but this exact style, this is a concert professional, concert grade professional pan flute. And they're very, like, it makes a world of a difference. If you spend the X amount of money to get this, you have like a magical thing on your hands. If you guys are interested in hearing another pan fluter, there's a guy called David Dorang. It's like David, Dorang. He's a German guy, really cool guy. Really, as you can see, he's like chill as fuck. But he's a pan flute player, like a genius pan flute. He's actually also a YouTuber, and he's also a performer. But very much David Dorang, one of the best pan flute players I've ever heard. Damn though, I don't know how that happened, but I whapped that. You are tuned and rooted to the vibrations, frequencies of reality. Wow. Good for you, young man. Thank you, Cosmic. Thank you. I'll be honest, I'm like a little bit sleep deprived today, but I'm feeling good. I'm here. I'm super grateful for this. Like, because this is the thing, is like I've only been streaming for about 5.5 months. You know, this YouTube channel's been live for 8.5 months now. This is like a new chapter for me to like enter this domain of like streaming and basically fluently putting out my energy and presence. You know, I'm the kind of guy, honestly, before I even became a YouTuber or even just like desired to become a YouTuber, I almost had a perception in my mind, a belief where I was like, I don't know if I want to, you know, really engage in these waters. Like, you know, it's like I'm a kind of guy that I love to live offline. I love to be, you know, I love to just live in the real world, very simply. I like to just create music for no other reason than just creating the music. I like to dance for no other reason than just to dance. Like, I'm a dude who just, like, spends a lot of time, like, doing nothing in the forests. Like, just doing music, thinking, philosophizing. Like, that's what I really do with a lot of my time. So, now full circle, as I desire to be a YouTuber, as I become a performance artist, I live in a lot more of a visceral reality. I'm around communities of people, I'm around musicians, actors, etc. all the time, right? Dancers, performers. But yeah, this is a very like new chapter for me to like really put up my presence consistently. Like even if I'm having the best day of the world, even if I'm having the worst day in the world, I show up. Like I've been streaming literally every day, maybe exempt for like 1 or 2 days for like months. And I love it. I love this. Like I love the momentum. I love building this channel. I have very, very high visions for this channel. But yeah, what I'm simply saying is I'm still a student of the streamer space, and I'm navigating these waters with you guys. Like I'm learning to be vulnerable as a performer, but also as a human. And it's honestly for me, it's like I feel very grounded. You know, I'm very like I'm very rooted within my intention. Even when we're here, I trust that any given way of which I can show up is will be received. It is the way. It's important to just show up as I am. You know, not trying to put on a performance or pretend to be this, that, the other. And that's part of the fun. Is like I could literally like, you know, at any given moment, there's no expectations, no pressure on creating this portal. There's no pressure I'm putting on myself to make music. I'm just here for the ride, which is, yeah, it's great. It's intuitive. It's a channel. I'm improvising everything. Always. And that's part of the fun. You have no idea what's going to happen next. Neither do I. I don't even know. I couldn't pretend if I tried. I don't choreograph or plan anything. Everything's intuitive. It's off the cuff. And that's always how it's going to be, pretty much. Nice. I think dancing with someone, you can predict what kind of relationship it is with them. Yeah, it is beautiful, Madeline. I'll be honest. I dance with many, many women. Like, you know, over the years, like, I spend a lot of time, like, if I'm on a dance floor, I don't seek out interacting with the opposite sex. But unconsciously, I'll meet people. It's like, it's an intuitive dance. You know, you find someone on a dance floor, it's not even a romantic or sexual encounter. It can be sensual. It can translate into sexual and romantic encounters. But the idea is, like, it's more about you're energetically complementing each other. Like, you come up to each other, you're exchanging micro interactions, you know, you're navigating the waters of consent. You know, maybe they're very closed off. Maybe their nervous system is in like fight or flight, and they're very closed off as a person. That's okay. You honor that. You know, maybe they're a person that's very, you know, they like physical touch, or they're very open with their body. You learn that immediately when you dance with somebody. Like in fractions of a second, you're like, ah. And if you're good at navigating those waters, you honor that. You're literally just like, ah, okay, it's beautiful. Like, they're this way, they're feeling this way, this is the phase of where they're at within their body, and that's beautiful. Like, it's like it's all welcome in the dance space. Do you regret any of your major life choices? I can confidently say no. Yeah. I sometimes love to just exclaim how much I'm really grateful for where I'm at in my life, but a product of being really grateful for exactly where I'm at in my life is I have zero regrets, brother. Like, when I look at, like, philosophically, like, to Hanshoff, when I really look at the deeper realms of how life operates, no, I got zero regrets, brother. I'm extraordinarily happy with exactly where I'm at in my life. Because it's honestly, it's polarity, brother. Like, it's when you actually realize why you are the product of all the decisions that you've made that have allotted you to right now. Like, when you really look at it, when you really realize your ability as a human being to transmute the raw energy that comes into your experience, you don't have regrets. Like, you look at your life and you're like, wow, like, there's polarity, there's positive and negative emotions, there's positive and negative projections, but you don't sit there and regret a single thing because there's eternally now. Like, you're eternally present, right? Yeah. Be back half an hour. Nice. Can you get a guitar and play the blues in the key of E flat? Nice. Wow. I'm sure I could. I don't actually know the blues scale that fluently. Like, I've studied the blues. Blues is not my desire, my choice, but have you ever ate ants before? No, I have not ever ate ants before. Wow, what a powerful question. Let's see. That's weird. We got some sus comments here, brother. And then his homie says not straight. I don't know if you're referring to some sort of context that I didn't see, but brother, learn to read the room. I'm like the quintessential example of a straight dude, and I love being exactly the way I am, brother. I'm a sister. Beautiful. I assume everyone's a brother, but thank you, for being here. Thank you for being here. Repeats. Thank you. Trans pan fluter. Trans, bro. How are people? Do you not like? I feel like people's compass of navigating people's orientation seems to be so off nowadays. Brother, I'm the quintessential example of a straight dude. Like, can you learn to read context, learn to understand and read people, brother or sister, whoever's, like, I'm literally, if you knew me for like a fraction of a second in the real world, I'm like the quintessential example of a straight dude. And I love every dimension of being, the character that I am. So I'd say to that, to people throwing out some outlandish things, I don't know, bro. It's time to get some character development. It's time to develop your consciousness. Actually, step outside of this weird box of how you perceive yourself and other people, because that sucks, dude. I'd hate to be you. Like, it's like I don't know a whole lot of people that are trans or whatever, but it's like I don't also disrespect or like, I don't know. It's like by default I don't have judgment for people. I also wouldn't say that those people are exempt from being, I judge people based on their character. If people are shitty human beings, that's the core emphasis you'd focus, not their whatever you're trying to define them as. I mean, we have this world, we live in a weird, bonkers, flipped upside down world. Like, don't get me wrong. But I think if a person's fixating so heavily on someone's orientation, that says so much about you, brother. If you can't judge a person's character and you can't separate those other foundational elements, then that says so much about you. That's you've revealed some profoundly embarrassing, I guess, flaws, which is okay. Anyways, I love how the rain is picked up. The rain is like doubled and tripled. John Marstrong. I have no clue, dog. On a different note, for those of you that are just chiming in or are new to this channel, welcome, friend. But man, I've been rewatching Naruto. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Naruto, the anime. I'm a huge Naruto fan. I also fuck with Attack on Titan massively, but for whatever reason, I just started rewatching Naruto. And really, I just love the music from that show. Like, that's literally the first melody that I ever learned on this pamphlet when I was like a kid. I mean, I learned probably simpler melodies, but one of the first like core melodies that I learned on this was the Naruto melody. And also, like, there's some really like complex, beautiful melodies that are from like later on in the series in Naruto. Like Early Summer Rain. That's one of them. It's like I botched that beautifully, but that's a complex melody. Nice. I will also buy a guitar in a few days. Wow. I want to get a good nylon. Yo, that's so awesome, Madeline. That's so beautiful. I love to hear that. That makes me happy. Hello. Yo, what's good? What's good, Dub Dev from Red Dead Redemption. I'm not sure what you mean by Red Dead Redemption, but nice. If you're talking about like the music or the aesthetic, then hell yeah, brother. I never actually played that game, but I've heard good things. And yeah, to Bald Nightmares, I think you were asking about shrooms. Or saying I sold you shrooms. Brother, I've never sold shrooms in my life. I've never sold any substance. I'm not a dealer of illicit compounds. I mean, I was always the guy in high school where people would come to me and be like, "Yo, brother, do you know where to get XYZ?" And I would point them in the right direction because, you know, I like to help people. I like to help people get their altered states. But never in my life have I ever sold anyone anything. That's just not my thing. I also worked at Tim Hortons for like 4 years, so I had a job. I didn't need to sell substances. I made money working at Tim Hortons for whatever reason. So I definitely sold you a coffee, or if you met me in the real world, I've sold you coffee before, but never drugs. I sold so much coffee. Drums, man. Drums. Damn. I feel like these tiny ass drums are much trickier than regular drums. I mean, they're beautiful, and I love how like transportable and multifaceted they are, but they definitely don't have like the full sound that a large drum has. It's so beautiful though. Alright, I think we're gonna play around with some of these sound instruments and then head back inside. Be soon. I hope you guys are finding yourself rooted in your somatic body, in your somatic experience, you know, honoring your nervous system, honoring your body, honoring that which flows through. Whoa. Homies throwing spam hearts. Thank you, brother. Don't spam the chat, though. Don't spam the chat, bro. I need to find a way to make my shorts unhinged. More unhinged. I mean, if that's the direction you're going. I don't know. I don't even know, dog. I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know what it takes to succeed as a shorts creator. You know, bro, like, let's be real here. Who knows? It's such a weird anomaly. What makes shorts go successfully? Like, what makes a short go nuclear? Maybe it's unhinged. Maybe it's hilarity, comedy, whatever. I'll be perfectly honest. I have a belief from what I've observed from people that are shorts creators that share their short success. A lot of shorts success seems to actually do, at least from what I've seen, with unoriginality. It has to do with people that are copy-pasting, like, brain rot, nonsense, unoriginal, like, bullocks. They're literally taking, like, you know, they're taking unoriginal things that have been, you know, blasted through the algorithm a billion times, and they're taking and ripping off other creators and just, you know, throwing on some sort of flair so it doesn't get copyright infringed, and they're like, whoa, look at me, I'm a shorts creator. That seems to be a weird majority of what a lot of goes nuclear in the shorts world. And that's pretty fucked. Oh shit, we got a spoiler here. We got some trippy spoiler. And he's actually, look at this. This is a spider. Yeah. But that's crazy. I mean, I don't know. I'd say don't lose faith. Be as unhinged as you want, Hunter. Like, I think you're right on to the right track. People like originality. I was going through my my YouTube stream last night. If you were here on my YouTube stream last night, I streamed for 2 hours. And I don't know why, I was feeling like really unhinged. And I basically was just like, I was roasting trolls like left, right, and center. It was great. I don't know. I did like 2 hours of strength training. My brain was full of dopamine, and I had fasted basically. So I had like a lot of random little quips where I was quick to the draw. I was just roasting trolls left, right, and center. It was fun. I was replaying my stream from last night, and I was literally dying of laughing at like half of what I said. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I don't really know how to gauge my own comedy very well. But I almost think what I might do is I might take some clips from my stream last night, like ones that are me just like saying unhinged shit, and throw that out onto my shorts feed and be like, this, because it's so funny. I don't know. I make myself like laugh a lot, but I was like listening back to the stuff I was saying, and I was like, man, I was just like on a roll. It was like I was doing a stand-up comedy routine. It was great. I wasn't even trying. Like, it was kind of just like this stuff was coming to me. But I think that might succeed, is if you just give yourself permission to make yourself laugh a lot. You know, that's entertaining. You know, if you entertain yourself and you make yourself laugh and you enjoy yourself, it's kind of infectious, I think. I don't know. That's what I go with a lot. I'm kind of that way often. You know, in the real world, this is more how I portray myself. But in the real world, like, I'm like memeing up a lot of shit often. Like, especially when I'm around my partner. When I'm around my partner, we're just like saying like random nonsense and making each other die of laughter all the time. That's like majority of what we do. You know, I like to focus on the music and create a beautiful meditative portal, but I don't know, I like to laugh. I like to just do weird stuff and say weird stuff. It's great. It feels good. You know? It's fun to laugh. Happy Elides. Wow. Cool. What is Canada like? I mean, is it also like America? Whoa, no. I mean, Canada is Canada. Our economy's kind of fucked. Like, deadass. Like, everyone says that. I live in British Columbia. Our economy is insane. Like, it's insane. What you pay for, like, food, for the housing market, our economy is bonkers. It's like a meme. It's literally like, it's a universal meme that Vancouver and British Columbia is like insane economically. Like the housing market, again, it's bizarre. You basically, you have to like aim really big or, you know, live in a remote, weird place to actually survive. It's like, it's a really bizarre thing. And actually there's good reason for this. Like, I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent, but basically the Olympics was hosted in British Columbia like 10 years ago. Like 10, 15 years ago, the Olympics was hosted in British Columbia, right? In Vancouver. And basically what British Columbia did was they bolstered their touring market. They really, like, they spent so much money on basically promoting, you know, the tourist elements of Vancouver. They did that like crazy. And they succeeded. Like, they made it look really awesome and they knocked it out of the park for the Olympics. But it seems like since then, I don't know, I'm not an economics expert, but there's a lot of people that point out since the Olympics, Vancouver has been like egregious economically. Like the housing market, the sort of even just the food prices, it's insane. But yes, we don't have guns. Canada does not have gun issues. Guns are not a thing in Canada. Like unless you're like, I don't know, some sort of Yakuza gangster or something, which I have no idea how they operate. Yeah, there's not guns. We have no... It is like an anomaly, if not a rarity beyond a shadow of a doubt, to ever have guns in Canada. You will not see guns. Most people do not have guns. If people get in little brawls and fights, you know, people will fight with their fists. People have knives and bone breakers. I don't know what people do, but yeah, you will not see guns out in Canada. We don't have lots of guns. It's great. It's actually, it's great. I can't imagine. I've never really been. I've been to Hawaii in America, but I cannot imagine how insane it would be. Like, I watched this show. I don't know if you guys ever watch a show called Justified. I love this show so much. It's a show from like 15 years ago called Justified. It has, I forget what the main actor is. Basically, it's a show about a guy called Raylan, what's his name? Raylan Givens. He's what is he? he's a what are they called? A deputy marshal. It's a deputy marshal named Raylan Givens, and this is the show. It's called Justified. Phenomenal show. Some of the best acting I've ever seen in my life. But in this show, in Justified, Raylan Givens is a deputy marshal, and he walks around with a gun because he's a deputy marshal, and he's walking around, like doing his deputy marshal stuff, and he's like basically 90% of the show is him walking up to random people and just shooting them in the face. It's just like goes up, I'm Raylan Givens, like I'm deputy marshal, and he's just like they're just like, oh damn, and then he just pulls out a gun and he's just like, don't move or something, and then at some point someone gets shot, and it's bizarre because it seems that this is a TV show obviously, and this is like he's a marshal, but the States is like a very like, I'm sure there's with places that they have very weird gun regulations, and everyone has a gun, and gun is a normality. That's like a weird sort of slice of reality that everyone has a gun. You can assume that you walk into some sort of outlandish outlawed place, and everyone's gonna have some sort of gun or something, and guns are obviously insane, like they're dangerous. Pow pow. Yeah, bro, I love that. Kenny versus Spenny. Yeah, I love that show, dude. That show, I watch that show all the time on YouTube. Yeah. But yeah, Kenny versus Spenny, they're in Toronto. Yeah. You guys got guns. We do not have guns. Unless you're like a military official or a police officer, guns are just not a reality. You will not see the appearance of guns. I don't know. Again, I'm not a gangsta. I don't know how the weird, gangs and the whatever. I don't know how the underground underlife lives, or whatever. But I'm sure guns are possible. But in Canada, it's like it's a rarity. Whistler's a nice place to snowboard. Whistler is dope as fuck, man. Everywhere, Whistler, Seymour. I actually snowboarded a lot. I haven't snowboarded in years, but snowboarding is like, it's a massive attraction. It's a massive attraction in British Columbia. But I once was in Seattle. I don't know how Canada is, but I once were in Seattle. Interesting. Yeah, Seattle I'm sure is way, way different. Way different from British Columbia. Bro, I'm from Poland, Europe. Can I ask you to comment about Middle East? This is not a political channel, friend. Yeah, this is religious and political ideologies. I do not desire to promote discussions. In the real world, obviously, speak your truth. Feel honored to express your authentic truth. Talk about these things. Be a free thinker. Take action in the real world. But this is a YouTube stream, brother. This is a YouTube stream about guitar, creative expressions and dimensions. It's not a place for political and religious ideology and arguments and discussions related to that. But I appreciate you expressing that, though. Can those bowls be used in the bedroom? Can these bowls be used in the bedroom? Can these bowls be used in the bedroom? So you're saying it's a sound healing instrument. Can it be used like... Yeah, if you're talking about like Tantra healing, energetic healing, in like a romantic context, of course. But anything can, if that's what you're referring. Everything and anything can be used in a romantic context. And it really should be. Let's be real here. I need to find a way to make more shorts Unhinged. Yeah, now we're back. We're back on the updated on the comments. I think I'm going to make a clip where someone tries to ruin the tuning on my guitar, and it's just by me and break a string. Huh. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, Hunter. For myself, a direction I would love to go is comedy sketches. Just for fun. Like, eventually, who knows? Once I'm multiple years down the road doing YouTube, I've hit a X amount of subscribers, I'm just going to start making random sketches. Like, that is an invariable truth. I'm going to start randomly doing, like, acting sketches. Because I love it. I love acting sketches. That's actually part of what I love about YouTube. I have some of my favorite YouTubers. They do comedy sketches. And I love them all day long. I spend so much time watching, like, SNL comedy sketches. That's, like, a lot of what I fill my time with for some reason. So I commend that. This being said, realize that comedic entertainment YouTube is a massively competitive industry. Like, it's like, I don't know, I say this just from throwing statistics and metrics, having statistics and metrics thrown. If you're like, the difference between being a YouTuber who is offering like learning, what's the word, like unique niche value versus being an entertainment YouTuber, like being like, I'm an entertainer that is just trying to make people laugh, and you're trying to like be a basically like a influencer presence or whatever, and just make people laugh. That's an entirely different, extraordinarily competitive industry of YouTube, where that's like, I don't even remember the metric. There's a massive percentage of people that are just trying to be entertainment YouTubers, like a massive percentage. So unless you're like really powerfully separating yourself from the massive percentage of people who are trying to like basically succeed in YouTube by performing, just being funny and entertainment, you fit in the category of entertainment YouTuber, you're against a massive wave of competition. I don't know. I never even tried. I don't try to be entertaining. I might be entertaining sometimes. I don't know. But it's like, my niche is, I'm trying to create like tangible, reliable, high quality content. Like, I'm trying to succeed in creating like high quality music, high quality musical advice. I'm trying to teach people. I'm trying to grow a community of people that are like learning. I'm trying to teach people things. I'm not here to entertain people. I love entertaining people. If I'm entertaining and teaching people things, I think I've succeeded. But I'll be perfectly honest, it's an invariable metric that the competitive industry, it's extremely competitive to be in the industry of entertainment. Like, if you're on YouTube, it's just, this is an invariable metric that there is a massive array of people that are trying to compete to just be entertaining, on YouTube. And I don't know. I'm sure I could succeed at that if I really tried, but I'm not going to try to compete there. We don't have guns in Australia. Legendary. What's good, John? I love Australia, man. I love Australia. I don't know why. I've recently become, I've also met a really gorgeous YouTuber. I met her years ago, but she happens to be Australian. She has an awesome accent, and I've really been enamored with Australian culture. So I'm love to hear that you don't have guns in Australia. I think Australia is doing a phenomenal job. I really think. Like, culturally, in many different ways, I think they're doing great. They're doing a great job. And I really want to visit Australia. Australia is like, they're 1000% one of the top like 10 countries that I'm going to visit like immediately. Once I, do the full-time YouTube stuff. And just Australia, man, Australian people, they're great, bro. Like, they're like, their slang and their accents, like, they're dope, man. 3-4 years ago, I was in LA, San Francisco, and Seattle alone. Wow. Hey, if I get home safe, I'll change my life completely. Damn. That's wild. That's, wow. Oh, it's knocking over stuff casually. That's pretty wild, Madeline. Yeah, that's, I watch a lot of travel YouTubers, particularly one travel YouTuber, and he's a funny guy. He's basically a meme. He's not an actual travel YouTuber. He is, but he's like a meme. He's like a comedic travel YouTuber. But yeah, watching this guy's channel, he's actually also a very like well-traveled, very dedicated YouTuber. But seeing his adventures from going all around the world, it's evident that the world's a dangerous-ass place. It's very unpredictable. Like, when you go to certain places, like certain parts of the world that you're not familiar with, you're not familiar with the dialect, you're not familiar with the culture, you don't know anything, and you're just stumbling ass backwards into the world, especially the States, say, I don't know, I've never been to the States a whole lot, but seeing from, like, the States, a lot of places I'm sure are safe, it's welcoming, there's parts that, depending on your intentions, it's like, it's North America, the Western world. It has a charm. The Eastern dimensions has a beautiful charm. South America, they all have different charms, but they also all have inherent dangers. Like, if you're not familiar with the culture and you're not familiar with the language, maybe, and the language barrier, there's danger everywhere. It seems. It doesn't necessarily mean it shouldn't stop you. It shouldn't stop you from just living your life and being tenacious and facing those dangers, but yeah, that doesn't surprise me. What's good, brother? What's good? Bless Blessings from Canada. Blessings from British Columbia, Canada, brother, to England. That's really cool. I love England. I love English people. I'm actually half English, so that's surely. I would love to visit Leeds. I would love to visit like lots of different parts of England, but Leeds for some reason. You know, Leeds. I really would love to visit Leeds. It feels like my English genes would just be enamored. Sound bowl mixed with a feather. I hear it's that. Nice change it from the usual, but don't have an intimate partner. Transactional at this point. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll be honest, to Mona Lisa. Yeah, to Mona Lisa smiles. Yeah, it's rare to find intimate partners that are acutely aware of how to explore like very explorative, sensual, tantric, or energetic interactions, like sexual interaction. It's rare. Like honestly, I've met many beautiful souls. I've had some amazing partners. I have presently a phenomenal partner, but yeah, it's like to find people that actually have an intuitive awareness of like tantric dimensions. You know, people that are able to basically step into the energetic aspects of sexuality. Very rare, very rare. Like, I don't know, it exists. Like, I mean, I'm a guy I've spent many years studying like Taoism, this, that, sexual transmutation. I'll be honest, a huge way, like this kind of parallels all through I was saying, you know, prior. The reason why dance is such a powerful thing, it's so transformative, right? Because dance, you know, we talk about dancing, right? You go and dance, you connect, you circulate energy. Dance is actually learning to honor the energy body, right? If you're dancing for like 4 hours at a time and you're doing creative pathways and you're connected with your nervous system, you're actually activating energy. You're moving energy. Maybe you're, you know, transmuting and creating energy with the opposite sex when you're dancing. That is 1000% transferable and something you can hone, obviously, in an intimate sexual container. Like, it's the same thing. If you can dance fluently and learn to move energy, obviously these things are nuanced. This takes years and years of understanding yourself and your other and learning to connect with masculine and feminine energy and etc. But what I'm simply saying is if you know how to dance and you really like explore dance in the fullest dimension of it, most people that are fluent at connecting with dance are also quite explorative at connecting with energy. If you can connect with energy, you can actually connect and apply that to sexual energy. Because it's all, energy is that. You know, we are sexual beings. We experience energy that roots from the root chakra and spirals up through our higher centers. So it's like, yeah, an increased a dimension of awareness to energy gives you the ability to explore that in a multi-dimensional way. But that's not something I often talk about on the stream. Maybe in the future I'll talk about, you know, my awareness of masculine and feminine energy and like healing and integrating sexual energy. But that's a thing that's probably not going to be for this channel. But maybe in some capacity. Maybe on my Patreon. I don't know. My bad. I thought this was. Okay. Good morning. I'm not sure what you're saying my bad to, but is he really reading the chats? Yes. Half of the fun, brother, when you're still trying to find yourself in your 40s. Yeah? Wow. Well, I hope you continue wherever your 40s are, man. Nice. I love this guy. I love this guy. Like, I love it's like people, I don't know what a nonce is. I don't know what a nonce is, but thank you for, you know, saving me some time, giving me the quarter of a second it takes, or inspiring me. You've inspired me to take a quarter of a second to remove your rights to chat. So hell yeah, brother. Nah. Welcome, Teatro. Thank you, man. No, I mean, hey, I'm just as human, brother. Like, I'm just as human. I'm riding these waves of reality as effectively as I can, you know? I don't know. But I'll be perfectly honest. This might sound strange, but when you get to a certain point in life, like if you're an artist or just a person, you're on your path, you're figuring these things out, you don't really have a choice to go backwards. Like, you don't. Like, if you're a person that's healing, you're integrating yourself, you're on some sort of spiritual quest, you're living your most authentic life, and you don't just go backwards inherently. It's almost like it's you desire, once you see the truth, you can't unsee the truth. Once you see the true nature of reality and yourself and your potential, you don't unsee it, quintessentially. If you've never seen it, if you've never actually seen it, and you deviate from that path, that means you never did see it in the first place. But once you understand yourself and your potential and, again, the true nature of reality, it's kind of like you're on that quest no matter what. It's like, it's painful. It's like arduously painful to try to, step back into a life of subconscious, inauthentic self. Yeah. If that makes sense, though. If that makes sense. So it's like, I don't think I have a choice. If I'm moving forward, I'm living my life. But if I'm not, then I'm gonna radically reassess. Hello again. How are you? What's good, Mark? What's good, dog? What's good? I think we're approaching the 3-hour mark. I think at 3 hours, I'm probably gonna take some time to make some food and just like meditate, work on some vocal pieces that I've been doing. So I've been trying to, like, I wrote a bunch of vocal pieces yesterday. Yesterday afternoon. I wrote like 3 songs that I'm still in the process of like rehoning and packaging. But yeah, good stuff. Oof. What is the true nature of reality? I don't know what to tell you, bro. If you haven't figured it out, if you can't figure out that by yourself, then again, that kind of full circle, you've proved my point. You were never meant to see it, and good luck with that, bro. Good luck. You got this. You got this, Baruka Savage. But you don't seem like you're my target audience, brother. Feels like a good day for soup. Feels like a good day for soup. I don't know. I appreciate you, though, Teatro. Like, I want to say, brother, to Lomar Teatro, like, the more I really feel like, you're showing up in an authentic way, and, 1000%, the more that you continuously showed up to this portal, just the blips that I've seen your energy, it's like you're on the path. Like, you're on the path, Teatro. And I commend you, my friend. I hope you continue to just, like, really honor yourself, integrate yourself. And I think you said the other day you're going on a journey with ayahuasca at some point, which I think in the future, I 1000%. This is a strange kind of little tangent, but I met a beautiful soul the other day. She was actually the one that invited me to go to the show that I was talking about, East Forest, right? I never knew her. I never met her. I met her, like, briefly. Her name's Duria. Duria. That's how, I don't know. Kind of botching it. But she's Middle Eastern. Phenomenal human being. She goes to Costa Rica and does actually medicine retreats. And she's very connected to, like, ayahuasca and etc. And yeah, long story short, I feel very inspired and connected to her. Because she's also a content creator. Like, she's a full-time content creator. And she wants to collaborate. We're going to do, like, collaborative streams, collaborative content. She's also a sound healer. She does, like, voice activation, sound healing. But anyways, I feel very attracted within the realm of this sphere. I feel like basically what I'm saying is I'm probably going to visit this friend of mine, this beautiful soul, in Costa Rica at some point. Like, I think if I were to, like, envision what's going to happen in the next, like, 5-6 months, I'm probably going to start to stack money, do YouTube in full-time, etc., travel to Japan, travel to Thailand, travel to Costa Rica, forge some of these bonds deeper, in a very organic way, doing the YouTuber stuff, making music, etc. But I feel like wherever I find myself go, I desire to go from a place that is honoring almost like the sacred journey, the means of integrating and aligning myself with healed and open-hearted souls that is allowing me to just organically connect deeper and fall in love deeper with the sacred. Kind of what this channel is basically gravitating around. Because, if you're new to this channel, Ashe, it is the word that flowed through. It is what this channel is called. It has a very ancient sacred meaning. But the context of this channel is basically been birthed by, various things, but primarily it's my relationship organically unraveling with music. It's my relationship with music that, over time, over years, has almost like developed a sacred context. I've noticed myself attracted to making sound journeys simply. It's like a style of music that makes me really feel something different. It makes me feel and see different pathways. It makes me almost like look into a very beautiful future of, my creative expression as a musician. What I could even say is it's like a channel. I'm not trying to create music. I'm trying to move towards learning to channel music. It's the same way that I dance. It's the same way that I do various things. So, yeah, it's like this channel is basically an invitation to find the sacred context within you as a artist, as a musician, as a whatever, right? And I think the more that I pull these threads, that is what I'm going to invite and cultivate in the real world. Whether I travel and meet other creators and other people that are doing the same thing. And I hopefully want to extend that invitation to those that are a part of this community, as people that can be like, you know what, there's a way to connect with music that can really heal your soul. It can really allow you to feel something deeper, and it's a huge part of this. Nice. Appreciate that, Kristen. It's clear this is a very ever-present thing. If you're new to this channel, welcome. But if you check out the channel, the streams, the content that I create, the intention of this channel, this is years and years of very clear visions of just living this stuff, living and seeing these beautiful truths, and then desiring to crystallize this in a YouTube channel. Because I love YouTube. I've loved YouTube for a long time. Yeah. Yo, what's good, Sam? What's good, brother? Yeah. Nice. I love this. I love this guy. Man, what's that called? What's the movie? I love this game. I think that's actually, that was from that one Unhinged movie. But nah, bro, I love this shit. I love it. You guys, it's a win-win. If you guys are saying some outlandish stuff, you're not my viewership. You're not my target audience. You do realize that's I have no attachment to those that enter this channel that don't resonate with whatever's going on, or you're not a part of my target audience. That's okay. I respectively invite you to exit the stream, to go on your way. I'm going to remove your comment rights, and you can, go and find another stream. Go engage in some, mindless brain rot for all I care. It's all, don't do that. Don't do that, please. But yeah. That's your choice. That's your prerogative. Yes. Yes. Very nice. I have a feeling, okay, this homie with the very strange name, he's calling me clown. Very nice. Thank you, brother. You've revealed your hand beautifully. You're not my target audience. You're clearly not a devoted musician or open-minded thinker. That's cool, brother. That's all good. You can back to the brain rot AI oversaturated nonsense channels. You can compulsively express your heart out, brother. Speak your unhinged truth, but you're not a part of this channel anymore. Thank you. Yo, thank you. Yeah, I like expressing myself as a human. Yeah. Very nice. Nice. Nob. Nice. I appreciate this, friend. Appreciate that, friend. You just traveled maybe in other lives across the world, and now give us great music from ancient connections. Wow. That's beautiful. That's very poetic, my man. I mean, absolutely. I don't know. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. Yo, it's a Peter Piper. Yeah, this is a pan flute. You're correct there, my guy. If you guys are familiar with the Last Samurai theme, Last Samurai, it's a beautiful song. I exhale this drag for you. Whoa, cool, man. Yeah, nice. I don't think you. Nah, I think you've been saying. You haven't said anything. Outlandish is like. I mean, sure, we can say outlandish is just like outside the box. I honestly invite people to speak their truth. If they're people of free will, and now I think everything you've said it's been fine. Like, not outlandish by my definition. I don't know. I'm just trying to, like, if I'm being super transparent here, as these last couple weeks, and beyond, I'm juggling thousands of people on a daily, like thousands usually, and that's just the direction. It's gonna get to a point where eventually it'll be larger. I'm trying to learn to filter this channel effectively. If people are saying irrelevant shit, doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, I'm not judging people for what they're saying. I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna argue with people. But if people are saying irrelevant nonsense and they're filling the channel, that means nothing. It's cool. It's like, whatever. I'll remove their comment rights, or maybe I'll roast them or whatever. Who knows? But it's like I'm just effectively filtering the channel. I desire to attract people that resonate on a deeper level, that practice self-awareness, that are know how to communicate in such a way. If people aren't fitting that audience, that's cool. Like, go find an audience. People can go find a streamer or whatever, a YouTube community that they want to I don't know, roast each other to a to a fragment of their life or whatever, or like whatever people do on. I don't know. I don't consume live streams. I don't even consume content as a whole. So I don't even know who other YouTube streamers are, or any streamers. But all I know is what I'm creating. And I have to say, I'm getting this impression that it seems to be a wilderness out there. Like, from, the 5% or the 1% of people that pop in and say some, like, unhinged shit. It's like, yeah, it seems like people don't realize how they're not entitled to anything. Like, it's a weird thing. I'm mom handle, by the way. I'm not sure if you read either. Oh, nice. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I didn't see that, but thank you. Yeah. Beauty. All right, I think I think actually my phone might be. Actually, no, it's got some percentage. We're probably gonna head back inside, do some stuff. I see. This has been on the whole time. But yeah, no, that makes sense though. I mean, you've been here then. You've been here for some time. You understand the ins and outs of this channel more or less. Again, it's just like, I like to, again, I'm gonna be here and there, giving people timeouts, and it's like, this is the kind of the core part of it, is I'm here to do that, to keep the comment section sort of in a cohesive, comprehensive light. If people are just filling the comment section with
unhinged nonsense, that's their prerogative. But some people truly, they just need to be censored or filtered or held accountable more so. It's just like, it all comes down to just simply self-awareness. If people on a fundamental level don't practice self-awareness, then, they're probably not aligned with this channel, and that's cool. They'll figure it out eventually, hopefully. Or not. Who knows? Interesting. So as we are, looks like we're approaching the 3-hour mark. Beautiful. It's fun though. I realized yesterday, I haven't done cold plunges in the last 5-6 days. I was doing them for a streak about 40 days with a few days in between off. But yeah, I've been recently really called to just reintroduce that practice. Because that being said, I kind of want to just double down on my strength training and my cold plunge practice. Because it's just transformative stuff. Like, if you see my recent video, I talk about it in excess. But there is a lot one can learn and integrate relating to dopamine, relating to the nervous system, stuff that I couldn't even begin to cover in a simple video or a talk. But I just feel like the more I look at my life, I'm like, man, there's just so much beauty to attain, so much perspective you can gain from simply just choosing to integrate a consistent cold plunge practice, or as it is with, like, say, strength training, of course. Just so much. But obviously, it's balance. You want to have balance. Like, I think for me, when I was doing every day for like 33 days or 40 days, I think that to some degree, I can't say for certain, but it definitely seemed like it actually did negatively impact my immune system. It could have been a coincidence, I don't know. I just took it as a point where I got sick for a few days, and I was kind of like reflecting, like, did my immune system dip because I was doing, maybe I was pushing the cold plunge thing a little bit much. Even though I felt great, like I felt great up until the point, but getting sick kind of made me realize, I was like, maybe I should be listening deeper to how that's affecting my body. If it is. Bird sounds. Bird sounds. Mm. Gotta really figure out how to make the squeaking not happen. Man, I'm looking forward to beach season. I'm looking forward to just like the winter or so the summer season when the birds are flowing through. I don't know, Slate. I'm not sure what the heck you mean, bruv. Seems like some unhingery. But yeah, I think I'm gonna throw you one of those timeout. It's funny, my partner, she says all the time where she's just like laughing. It's like, oh, it's like when you're a YouTuber, it's like you're a kindergarten teacher. You're like a kindergarten teacher. You know, it's given these like these people that don't know how to communicate their words, use your words. Use your words. You know, toddlers, and then they're throwing them timeouts. You know, go sit into the corner. Go sit in the corner and think about why you say some unhinged nonsense. And that's what we're here. We're basically YouTuber, kindergarten teacher, same thing, right? It's like that's the truth. We just yeah. What's the difference? Different is good, bro. Sounds great. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Honestly, thank you. Honestly, it's just I can thank forest, birdsong, nature sounds, relaxation, Johnny Lawson, the person just this beautiful. Look at this. It's just a beautiful forest with birds. I don't know. That's what inspired that. That's inspiring this. That's just the magic. I can click on any of these beautiful forest tracks and just create music based on these beautiful nature sounds. Like, gotta love it. Gotta love it. It's endless nature melodies or nature sounds. Well, I feel like we're at this pivotal time. We're just about 3 hours in, and I think we're going to put an exit. I can't word right now, but whoa, we hit 1.4K subscribers. It looks like just recently. I don't know. I'm just updated. Wicked. Yeah, 1,402. Bless. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys joining here. Those that resonate with this community, and yeah, it's just it's a beautiful journey. I feel blessed to be a part of this, this YouTube realm. Must love fools he made so many that you can type. Interesting. I don't know what you said there. Something about, I don't know, Jeebus, something, gold. Yeah, God must love fools. I mean, I think I hear you, bro. The metaphor. Peace. Peace, brother. Appreciate you, Ocean. Appreciate you. Boundless. Bound Icarus. Ocean Bound Icarus. Cool name, naturally. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining in. Yeah, I'll probably do another live stream in a couple hours, like 3 hours or so. Do a nice night stream at some point. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. But I don't know. Anything's possible. I think I'm grinding out these watch hours, but I'll listen organically to what aligns. Like the last couple days, I found myself had a really phenomenal stream yesterday, but I was in this place yesterday. I was kind of deviating from. I was like maybe I'll take a day and kind of just live in the real world, integrate, maybe do some mushrooms. Ended up just doing a lot of songwriting and doing a nice, beautiful night stream, but it's powerful. Like I feel like, I'm on that beautiful YouTube grind, right? It's like this is the only time in my entire YouTube career, so to speak, where this is going to be required. Unlocking these 4,000 watch hours. It's just like it's the grind, right? It's like I'm on this grind to like grow a community and unlock sponsorship and ad revenue, monetization, whatever. And that's the only time in reality where I'm ever gonna have to do that, right? For moving forward, monetization will never be like a thing you gotta unlock. But that's what's so beautiful. It's magical. It's magical. I'm on that grind, and I'm devoted. It's like day in and day out. I'm just like I love it. I love this process. Anyways, Icarus from the Greek mythology. Nice. That's rad. Yeah, I assume maybe your name was Icarus, but that's cool too, man. Yeah, yeah, Icarus. I don't know why. When I think Icarus, the thing that pops in my mind is like, I used to play a game called Maple Story, and the Icarus cape. That was like one of my favorite objects in the game, the Icarus cape. It's like a rare cape. Anyways, yeah, Icarus. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, brother. Anyways, thank you so much for chiming in. If this content resonates with you, feel free to follow this channel. I teach guitar, I do meditative sound journeys, among various things. And yeah, we're on the road to 4,000 watch hours and 10,000 subscribers. I don't know, that's just the arbitrary number we're throwing up there. But yeah, thank you so much for joining in. Deeply appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the future in the next episode. Beautiful. Remember to honor yourself and to honor each other. Much love. Bless.